Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled, highway ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hollering black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. If being savage was our nature, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear you. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost see, I glossed to we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
So dope, my eyes low. When you move like God, the time slow. I came back for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English plotted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to something. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the source. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God, it's never our vernacular. They get
The alleyway. had to really step back and look at my situation for what it was. I had to look at my life like it was a movie. I had to look at all the moving parts. So I could really understand what it was. They say love make you blind. Yeah. I'm introverted. I don't talk to niggas cause I'm constantly serving. I got a trap on top of my bed. I got a murder. Echoes of the block, the streets wanna murder. This shit come with burdens. The streets wanna murder. Streets wanna murder. I told you that this thing of ours will come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. This shit come with burdens. Hate the city red. All the shit I seen replaying in my head. Heard the streets talking, so we caught them boys instead. Block wanna murder when they caught wind of the feds. And I thought they would, but it was right, really. Niggas were crooked, Playing the 50 with niggas that cost them a bullet, Ain't wanna do it to them, but I had to pull it. One foot in the streets, one foot in the trap, my hand on the music. I write my wrongs on this microphone, it's therapeutic. I know the streets listen when I talk, I can't abuse it.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, I won't let them, They won't see me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, I can't let them, They won't see me, I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with perky, now that hair run up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, I won't let them, They won't see me, I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid, I can't let them, They won't see me,
Lost, see, I glossed to, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the...
We're still here. I still have my practices. We know who we are. This is who we are. So you can call me colored, you can call me Negro, you can call me black.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You gotta be
What kind
kidding
of
me.
Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really? You're a Shinnecock?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Shinnecock.
Could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am.
Hey.
So you should be Big Chief Bastard, not Old Dirty.
His family was here when Columbus landed, huh?
Is that right?
Yes.
So you are not a black man, you're an Indian?
I'm Indian.
No kidding. Now, this is a shock.
We are learning more to...
I don't need no gun to do my thing. Mao Zedong said that power grows out the barrel of a gun. He never said that power was a gun. That's why I don't need no gun to do my thing. What I need is some freedom. What I need is the power to determine my destiny.
Yo. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to all American Aborigines, man. How y'all feeling this grand rising? How y'all feeling? This is the Wake and Bake Show. I want to say peace and blessings to everybody in the building. You already know the vibes, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. Hey, how y'all feeling on this grand rising, man? Happy Wake and Bake, man. You already know the fucking vibes, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. You already know what's up, man. Shout out to everybody. Can I get y'all to drop a fire emoji in the chat? Hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel. I do want to shout out everybody that's in the chat that's not able to comment. You know what I mean? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters that's not able to comment. Shout out to y'all in the building, man. Make sure y'all be safe on your daily travels and commutes. You feel what I'm saying? Let me take the time out to shout out some of the brothers and sisters in the chat, man, before we even get cracking. You already know Marcus Adoon, Luell Grassroots, Juan Torres. We got the other sister in the chat. What's going on? Nicolo Jack, Gretchen Hounds, Cajun Spice, Pop Reed, Sweet 16, Carbon Crowns. Shout out to Continental Goddess. Who else we got in the building? Who else we got in the motherfucking building? Let's get up in here and see. Shout out to Marcus Norcetta. Shout out to Enos, OG Green Machine, James Williams, Aboriginal TV, Sister Soul, Stephanie Turner, Kevin Gilbert. Who else we got up in here? Miss Jelly, what's up with it? We got DTG034 in the building. We got Trout Moses, Copper Color Goddess. We got Quavo Black. Hey, Quavo Black. Let me shout my brother out right quick. Quavo Black, man. Let me shout out my brother Quavo Black. Khalil Sadiq. We got Crip Walk. What up, cuz? Shout out to Crip Walk in the building, man. You already know the vibes. Chief Crazy Overstand, the Snake God, Don Philly, Shy Alpha, Wax On, Wax Never Off. Who else we got up in this one? We deep. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Make sure you drop some fire emojis, man. Let me know what city, what state y'all in. I mean, y'all know it's the Grand Rising Wake and Bake channel, man. Y'all know we smoking good. Make sure y'all let me know what city, what state, and what y'all smoking on this Grand Rising. Shout out to everybody in the building. I'm just trying to shout out everybody in here. Make sure I ain't forget nobody. We got Shamel Thompson. We got Snake Guy, and we got Aaliyah RM in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got Aaliyah RM in the building. We got Cool Face in the building. Shout out to my brother Cool Face, Shot Alpha, Mike Santana, Darius Matthews, Yash Chosen, you and I. Who else? I believe that's it. All right. Man, shout out to my boy Mega Traveling, man. Shout out to you. Drip check. Shout out to my nigga Brown Wolf, man. Top of the morning to my cousin. Shout out to Mr. Aboriginal Smith. Ooh, excuse me. Shout out to Mr. Aboriginal Smith. Shout out to my cousin, man. You already know, top of the morning. Hey, man, y'all see the brother in the chat, Quavo Black. Make sure y'all show Quavo Black some love in the chat. I'm going to give y'all a quick story about Quavo Black yesterday. Listen, so I'm out moving around yesterday. I'm out in Delaware. I had to go run some errands, and I'm out chilling, and I got done with my errands. And mind you, in the middle of this, I'm talking to some people about Aboriginal conversation. I'm like, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Some random young brothers that I seen, we just sparked the conversation. One of them was from Cali, one of them was from Delaware. We chopping it up with them. So I leave to go to the Wawa to grab me something to drink. You know what I'm saying? Grab me a little smoothie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm on a smoothie for the Grand Rising. You see what I'm saying? So I'm at the Wawa. And mind you, I'm still reflecting off of the conversation that I had earlier. I'm still reflecting off of the conversation that I had earlier with one of the brothers I was talking to. And what I was talking to him about, and what I was reflecting on was like, yo, I've never met nobody that watches my channel while I'm out in the public. You know, I show my face quite often. Sorry about that. I show my face quite often, right? Yeah, we the guys, for sure. We the guys. So shout out to my boy Quavo Black in the building, man. Make sure y'all support him. Because listen, I'm at the Wawa yesterday. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, yo, I've never met nobody while I'm out and about yesterday. I'm like, yo, I've never met nobody from the Aboriginal community and be like, yo, you big Aboriginal power. I watch your channel. So I'm thinking it's in the store as I'm waiting on my drink. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, yo, that'd be dope if I met somebody. So as I order my drink and walk back to the store, to the counter, I see a guy walking up to me. A brother, you know, with the beard, looking like a Philly or Delaware brother. Shout out to my boy Quavo Black. Drop your fire emoji in the chat again, Quavo, so they can show you some love. Quavo Black. So I'm in the store. He walk up to me, and mind you, I'm thinking like I've never met nobody. I'm literally thinking it's 30 seconds as I walk away up to the counter. I'm thinking like, yo, I never met nobody from that watches me. So he walks up. He like, yo, I'm subscribed to your channel. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Right? He like, nah, for real, big AP, I watch your channel, nigga. I'm subscribed to your channel. I'm like, yo, that's dope. So it was just about manifestation, just putting these thoughts in the atmosphere. So, you know, this shit happens. I was thinking I've never met nobody that watching me. In less than 30 seconds, somebody would come up like, yo, I watch you on YouTube. I seen you. I watch you all the time, bro. And shout out to my nigga Quavo, man. Shout out to Quavo Black. I appreciate the love, man. You already know, man, how we vibing, man. We kicking the energy everywhere we are, man. Dropping the knowledge and the science. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to Quavo Black, man. I seen that brother at the Wawa yesterday, man. Shout out to Quavo. You understand me? I thought that was just dope yesterday. You feel what I'm saying? I thought it was just dope. I was like, how can somebody, like, I was like, I've never seen nobody out. Randomly is what I'm saying. Like, I've never seen nobody randomly out. Usually it's like I'm going to an event or I'm going to a damn seminar, meeting up with Aborigines, not just random, like, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy Quavo Black. Once again, man, make sure y'all show him some love in the chat. He was in the chat earlier too, man. So let me see if I can find this comment. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It says the Wake and Bake Show. Let me know what city, what state, what y'all smoking on. My boy Quavo Black. Let me put on his name one more time. Make sure y'all show some love to the cuz in the chat. Hey, man, how y'all feeling out there? How y'all feeling out there? Hey, I didn't get to talk about my boy Brandon, fat ass Pan-African Strike Back. I didn't even get to talk about big fat ass dude. His ass was getting destroyed, they say, down there at the Pan-African event, man. He by your way? Who you talking about? Who you talking about? Shy Alpha? Louisiana in the building. Yeah, you got to speak good into your life, man. Everything that you say and think about that you do, even if it's in anger, even if it's in positive, manifestations are real, man. You got to watch what you say and what you speak into existence. Turn my camera back on. Man. If you ain't smoking asteroids, man, go smoke asteroids. Y'all tripping. I'm smoking asteroid. This the only smoke I smoke on. It's hand brewed by Aboriginal, packaging shipped out by Aborigines. You know what I mean? It's the Aboriginal Bread and Company. Man, I'm only smoking asteroid. I'm gonna run up to on about one day in Philly on my way to New York. Put it out in the ethers. Yeah, that's a fact. You definitely gonna run into me, Juan Torres. All you gotta do is just, hey, I'm in Philly. Email me. You don't think I'm gonna pull up? Yeah, you don't think I'm gonna pull up, man? I pulls up on my people, man. I'm the most accessible out here, man. And I talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I stand on it. You know what I'm saying? But I show love too. And I stand on that most certainly. I stand on that most certainly as well. So I talk a little shit. You know what I'm saying? Who don't talk shit? We Aborigines. You understand me? We patronize. We smart as hell. You know what I'm saying? Sarcastic than a bitch. You understand me? That's just Aboriginal cultures. We ain't telling you no motherfucking lie. Let me get into this video with this fat nigga Brandon. Y'all know who Brandon is. Pan-African Strike Back. His fat ass going down there trolling our people. Hey, whoever said they need that connect, they say, I need that connect. Hey, listen. I don't even know your name, sis. This in some letters I can't even see right now. Can you please state your name in the chat so I can shout you out? Listen, if you want to shout with Aborigine smoke, man. Make sure you go to asteroidco.com. Oh, I mean, on Instagram. Excuse me, I said .com. Asteroidco on Instagram. If you DM him using promotion code Aborigine, you'll get the Aboriginal discount on your smoke and good herbs and vapes and all that good shit, edibles, whatever. If you want to shop Aborigine, go to asteroid.co on Instagram. DM him using promotion code Aborigine, and you will get your promotion, man. You'll get that good discount. Man, let's get into this right quick.
Man, it took forever. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not my fault, y'all. The internet, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry it took forever, y'all. Yo, I'm a big fucking teddy bear, and I'm fucking late to my show, and I fucking hate his big ass voice. How you big and soft for nothing? A big lame soft Pan African. Yo. That's what he sound like to me. Looking at it. Listen to this nigga.
Man, it took forever. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not my fault, y'all. The internet, you know what I'm saying? The white man was holding me back. He didn't want me to.
He said, it's not my fault, y'all. The internet was holding me back. The white man. This nigga sound like he just got his ass whooped. Like somebody just beat the shit out of him. What the fuck is wrong with cuz? Let me shout out some of the people that sent in a cash out donation, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. It's very important for you guys to support the brand, man. We haven't had nobody support the channel in a while. Let me shout out to some of the brothers and sisters that did take the time out to support the channel, man. Shout out to Kenneth Terhune. I hope I pronounced your name. Shout out to my big brother Kendall for the cash out donation, sending in the cash out donation, supporting the channel, man. We appreciate all the support. Shout out to my boy Kendall out there, man. Make sure y'all show him some love out there. Also, I want to get shout out to my boy Yas Chosen. Shout out to my boy Yas Chosen for the cash out donation. He said, thanks for the content, bro. Much appreciated. I appreciate you, gangster. Shout out to my boy Yas Chosen. Y'all show him some love in the chat, man. This motherfucking wood so strong, it's hard for me to talk and hit this motherfucker at the same time. My mama. It's hard to hit this. Shout out to my boy Yaz and Kenneth for supporting the channel, man. Sending in the cash up donation. We appreciate all the support, man. Real talk, humbly. We really appreciate that, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Don't y'all let my boy Yaz and Keith be the only one support the channel today. We got 150 in here. We just getting cracking. We listen to the biggest, softest Pan-African nigga in the world. I think, niggas ain't even Pan-African no more. Like, niggas comedic, niggas pro-black, niggas RBG, niggas FBA. Listen, Pan-Africans don't even exist no more. It's like trying to find a unicorn. And we done found one of the last Pan-Africans alive. And his name is Pan-African Strike Back.
Man, it took forever. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not my fault, y'all. The internet, you know what I'm saying? The white man was holding me back. He didn't want me to release this footage. I got the video right there. It's up. It's up. I'm trying to let everybody get in here, man. Boom. Protest. I'm trying to let everybody get in here. Hurry up and get in here, y'all. Hurry up and get in here. I got the video up. It's about to go up. You feel me? Y'all get in here because I'm about to start going in on it. I got the video. I know y'all sleepy. My boy Crave, we was in your neighborhood, bro. I'm just trying to give everybody a chance to hop in, man. Get in here. Get in here. Get in here. We got the video. She resorted to yelling like a 5-year-old. IDF, you was there? Those dudes were trying to act tough to smash her. Right. It was one real dorky look.
It was one real dorky looking dude, man. She fucking yelled at me. Like, dude, you was the biggest, softest teddy bear. You was a teddy bear. You a Pan-African teddy bear, boy. And you just soft as shit. You just filled up with all kind of potato greens and shit. I ain't got no cotton in there, motherfucker. Y'all don't grow cotton in Africa. We know what's up with y'all. No, hey, Swarthy Corey, this is a homosexual, big 300-pound, and he ain't up but 5'8". He like 360, 5'8", gay dude. I think this the dude who attacked the lady at the airport video we watched the other day. I think this the same dude. I think this the same dude that tackled that white lady Mexican at the airport the other day that we just watched the video on Tariq shit. Yeah, that's his ass. Big soft ass nigga. I can't stand this nigga voice.
Looking weird, dude, kind of look like Shrek there. Those dudes were trying to act tough to smash her. Right. It was one real dorky looking weird dude, kind of look like Shrek. He's like, I don't believe nothing you say. I'm like, bro, we know this might be the prettiest girl who ever talked to you, ever, but she's 60, bro. Trust me, a lot of people have seen that, touched that. You won't be the first, you damn sure won't be the last, and I guarantee you it ain't what it once was. Dude, like, you realize a lot of black men are still controlled by the P, dude, by the P sleeve. Those dudes were actually tough to smash her. She looked good for 60. But she can't really be 60 years old. Bro, if you want to deal with menopause, bro, go be my guest. Be my...
Yeah, he got to be a homosexual. He's talking bad about women. He talking about you can smash that. So many guys done had that. She's 60. And it probably ain't the same as it once was before. You don't know shit about no... I'm not even gonna talk about this guy. This boy is fluffy. He's moist. He's giving extra moist, zesty vibes right now. He's giving moist, zesty in his vibes right here. He done gave up his Bucci to a white man. I can tell by the way he's talking liberation and talking about our women. He done pulled them big size 55s down and then gave that bussy up to a hunky. I can tell.
Yeah, she fucking around have a hot flash on, boy. Why are people always trying to punk each other out and cry when somebody gets hurt? Robert Lee Williamson III, I asked the same question.
He said just like a guy. He said Robert. He said Robert Lee. No, it's Robert Lee, bro. Not Robert Lee, it's Robert Lee, bro. Chill out.
Punch each other out and cry when somebody gets hurt. Robert Lee Williamson III, I asked the same question. But what you're gonna see from this video is that I showed up peacefully, I showed up quietly, and these were the people who tried to like start acting tough and flexing their muscle and whatnot. It was not me. You guys cannot be like, Brandon, you always over there starting. You always running around starting stuff. B, you always tripping. It wasn't me. I'm like, Shaggy, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Get in here, y'all, because this is about to go up.
He said it wasn't. That was the corniest, no offense to anybody out there, homosexualist joke I've ever Yo, what the fuck? Soft, moist, zesty, kind of like, He's giving me weird vibes, man. And this is the leader for Pan-African. This nigga named Pan-African Strikes Back. That sound like some... That sound like a gay porno for some Pan-Africans. Pan-African Strikes Back. When you got this dude on here talking about they try to violently get me and hurt me, and they try to do was like Shrek. Like, why you talk like that, bro? How you that big and you talk like that? What's going on? So, did you get hit in the throat with a baseball? Mic check on the audio. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Did this nigga get hit in the chest or the throat with a baseball? Shout out to my nigga Shabute. He said he got hit in the throat with a baseball. So don't let the vernacular fool you, buddy. Even he did sound zesty. This nigga sounds zesty, man. I'm sorry.
This video is about to go up. This video is about to go up, my people. This video is about to go up.
He's saying it's like he got some exclusive. Nigga, get to the video with your fat ass. I'm tired of this fat ass nigga. Let's skip this fat ass.
Video's up. Right there. Ready to roll. Ready to roll.
Man, tell Big Brandon bring his fat ass over here. I'll smoke him any day. I got somebody that'll smoke him. He don't want smoke with the Aboriginals. He's literally the last. We trying to preserve him. We trying to capture this big soft motherfucker and put him in a cage so we can study his moves, because this is the last Pan-African on Earth. This is the last Pan-African on Earth, y'all. Well, I'm a zoologist too. We capture things like this. We going on the hunt to get this big fucker. We're going to put him in a cage and we're going to study him. This is the last Pan-African, you guys. Listen, our kids won't see no more of these things. They're going to be in museums and wax figures and shit. You see what I'm saying? Pan-Africanism is dead. The only way y'all motherfuckers going to be able to see that shit is going to be in a museum, man. It's going to be in a little wax figure. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start selling illegal Pan-Africans to Africa, nigga. Illegally, nigga, because they like the last ones. They go for, you know, his big ass go for at least a bushel or something, a bushel of crabs or something. We trade his ass out for a bushel of crabs. This nigga ain't worth a damn. Man, let's get to it, man. We ain't even get to the good shit yet. I want to get to his information. I got some information lined up, actually. We're going to get to it. Let's get this shit up.
Let's go. Oh, you was there. IDF, you was in the house. IDF, I'm going to give you the link so you can come on. I'm going to give you the link so you can hop on. Those FBA dudes look so silly. Most of them dudes is Pan-African, which is crazy. And FBA hates Pan-African. She even started talking about Pan-Africanism. She was like, Pan-Africanism is a failed movement. She was saying that. So I don't even understand how these brothers who was Pan-Africans was sitting there listening to that, but whatever.
Hey, LJ John, listen, nigga, yes, I'm a zoologist now. I'm going on a hunt for these exclusive, elusive animals, little things. They call them Pan-Africans. They run around with dashikis on and little beads, and they talk about Marcus Garvey. Yeah, I know y'all. I know it sounds crazy, but these little things running around out there. I know you don't see them too much. They extinct. You understand me? They don't went extinct years ago. I'm here to find the last one. I heard evidence that it was one out there in California. It was big. They said it was soft as goose shit and a little moist. So I'm gonna get that little thing. I'm going out there to get that thing. We're gonna put it in the cage. We're gonna call the goddamn National Geographics, and we calling Sarnetta, and we're gonna put this shit on the news, man. The last Pan-African.
When you asked her why would you want to work at a racist place, she couldn't answer. IDF, bro, I gotta get you on here, bro. I gotta get you on here, bro. You was there. I know you were there. At this point, I know for a fact you were there. I got to get you up here, bro. I got to get you up here. We got a brother who was here. Hey, guys, get here because I'm about to run this right now. I'm running this in 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds, we going. So y'all better share it out whatever you gonna do, man, skip. Oh, he played the whole video? He played the whole video? Goofy dude, man. This video gonna show you everything. This video gonna show you everything. Man, that Skip was up there, man. Listen, bro.
Look, man, can you play the video with your fat ass? Is that his fat ass with this backpack on? Let me find out that that's your fat ass. Big bod belly built motherfucker. And listen, Ab TV, you remember you played that video? This fat nigga was in the gym doing lunges, and the title was, I gotta get my butt right. See, that's how you know niggas like this game, man. I'm not even about to have a conversation. We ain't fucking with Queen. We ain't fucking with this Pan-African queen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shout out to Sham, man. Shout out to Sham for the Cash App donation, sending in the $2 Cash App donation. He said, for damn it feel good to be Aborigine. That's a fact, man. Hey, if y'all feel good to be Aborigine, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat, man. Drop a fire emoji in the chat. Shout out to Copper Tone as well. He said, for the boo-boo beatdown, the Pan boo-boo beatdown. Man, y'all know we on their ass. Al TV, show the live stream and tag this fat nigga in the live stream right quick. What's his name? Big Lexi. They call that nigga Big Lexi. Damn, that's a sassy ass name.
Look better knowing them did coming. You feel me? I'm not even gonna press it. Like these dudes, they straight up be. That's your daddy, FBA Nigel. Don't forget. But you know, we always just have a conversation about not much of nothing, and it's still a good time because we can't folk. You know, that's how we do it.
Let me skip this fat fucker. Let me skip this fat fucker up a little bit. I'm tired of listening to him.
You talk about it publicly. Now I'm just chilling. Not saying nothing.
So everyone needs to be on this side. So usually the city dedicates 6 feet from the street. So anything probably beyond here is going to be high.
All I'm saying. All I'm saying is Tiger is not FBI. Real quick. So when you guys hear me talking, I'm talking extremely low to where nobody can hear me.
Because your voice is soft. It's soft, and it's a bunch of hard niggas out there. You know what I mean? Pause. I mean, damn, I can't even say shit with this nigga, man. This shit don't even sound. It's a bunch of intelligent, heavy word-speaking people, and your words just get smothered down with it. Man, you zesty as hell, man. I can't have a normal conversation with your ass, man. That's why I don't like talking to you type of niggas, man. Seriously. They can't even say nothing. God damn.
My phone just has a very good mic, so it picks it up. But I'm making commentary for my video. So if you notice when I'm talking, no one's even turning to look at me because I'm talking so low. And I'm right by my phone like this or that. That's more for you guys to hear when you watch the playback. She couldn't hear me, obviously. She way over there with the bullhorn. These people couldn't even hear me. That's why I wasn't turning. I'm very quiet, very low key.
He's very quiet and low key. That means he's in the closet. Nigga, come out that Pan-African closet. Put you on a little dashiki skirt, queen, because you know you're ready to come out. You sound moist. It sound like you get a 3 fingers, then a snap when you talk, nigga. Waving your hand like Shanae. Seriously, man, I can't take no big pudding salt. This nigga named Big Pudding. Pan-African Pudding. This nigga named Pudding Pan. Big Pudding.
I'm just saying. Huh? I'm part of the media. I'm just covering the protest. Just, I have a channel called Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. Yeah, I had a. Let me ask you. This is my one question. I have no more questions. Oh, well, you don't have to answer. Okay. You and I just have a question. It's just media.
This nigga said, I have a media that I talk about. My name is Pan African Strike Back. He said, that bitch said, the beautiful queen said, excuse my friend. She said, nigga, you the nigga that was talking about me last night. He said, That you heard that nigga say, That nigga named Pudding Pop. That's sad. Y'all niggas funny. Hey, man, he's just out there trolling this lady. He trolling a woman. How about I've been African Strike Back. How about you come down to D.C. or Vegas or come out to one of these Aboriginal powwows? It's free food. Don't try that tough shit around us, brother. You understand me? We looking to make examples.
That's what you're not going to do. I just want to ask one question, if possible. We're going to have a dialogue. Okay. I thought that's what dialogue took. Now, remember when I told you guys a long time ago that FBA is just BLM, just a new reiteration of that? Did you hear this chick say, because when you endanger my life, what? I'm endangering your life? This is that BLM language. That's the stuff they say to try to shut the conversation down before it even starts. But look at all those black men sitting there. They know I'm not endangering this chick's life, but were they man enough to stand up and say, "Nah, sister, that's a bit much"? No, cowards, all of them. Cowards, all of them. This
and
this dude with the fatigues, this dude is just trying to be next to a pretty girl, right? The dude, I don't believe nothing you say, Brett.
Hey, say it ain't so, Peeny. Peeny in the chat. New Peeny. Panini. Peeny. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, but I like your name, man. Shout out to you, brother. Hey, say it ain't so. This nigga said, I knew this dude when he was young. All Pale schools did this to him. And he got a Becky. Say, oh, this nigga got a white man? This nigga got a middle-aged white man as his husband. This shit get more disgusting every second that I talk to this nigga. If he want to debate me, he got to put up some bread. This nigga won't debate me, he got to put up some bread. He ain't about to get this HDTVQ community clout off me. He ain't about to take this clout back to the HDTV community. Shit. This for the elbows only. Got me fucked up. This nigga got a white husband.
What are you talking about? These guys, let me tell you something. These are fake ass Pan-Africans. These guys sat there. They're supposed to be Pan-Africans. They sat there and let that lady call Pan-Africanism a failed movement. All that. She said that. Why?
Nigga back, he said this nigga was adopted by Epstein. Nasty work, gang.
They sitting there because they're lined up ready to take a picture, and she starts going on Pan-Africanism. I don't care if you are Lemur. I don't care who you are. Tell me why a bunch of men who are supposed to be Pan-Africanists felt okay letting this lady.
Nigga, if you come to some Aboriginal shit and we feel like you a threat, we ganging your big ass. I ain't even gonna lie. We gonna gang your big ass, boy. We gonna gang you. We gonna put Aboriginal hands and feet on you. Everybody. Boy, you know, our Aboriginal people ain't had a chance to really stomp out on a Pan-African yet. Boy, you know everybody gonna get on your ass, boy.
Sit up and down talk Pan-Africanism, calling it a failed movement and all that stuff. I wish that other young brother was IDF. Please, IDF, come up here, bro. You were there. You heard her say that Pan-Africanism was a failed movement. IDF was there. You heard her say that Pan-Africanism was a failed movement. She said that. But all these supposed Pan-Africans who are doing security from her, because some of these dudes knew who I was from like when I was running the study group at Shades and stuff. Dude, we are just suckers for a pretty girl. She doesn't have to be right. Just as long as she looks decent.
He mad because y'all like pretty girls and he like big, strong, chin-ass white man. He like, you know what I'm saying? He like niggas that look like Kurt Angle and John Cena and shit. This nigga want a middle-aged white man. Go on, boy. Yeah, we like women. We like to be around women. Yes. Is that a problem? Big softball. Nut ass freak boy.
Well, my question to you is, why would you go on a live and tell the whole world, A, that I was running from the Latinos and it never happened?
You ran. The little corn lady came up on you. The homie right here was in front of you. You have smoke for Africans and everybody else. No, that lady challenged you. She hit a black man. She challenged you. You hid. You hid. You hid. I'm a man. If any man right here chooses to challenge me, I will fight him straight up. You ran away. You ran. You hid. You hid.
He said if any one of these men here challenge him, he will fight them right away. See, I be wishing, man. Oh, I'm mad than a motherfucker, boy. Y'all hear me? I'm mad than a bitch. I be out all the time inviting all these niggas to come. Nobody never pull up on Big Al, man. Nobody never pull up with that bullshit. And this nigga, he think he, boy, be mad than a motherfucker, boy. I would have busted this motherfucking head up. No offense. This nigga soft as hell.
You hid. You hid. You hid. It challenged you. You hid. You hid. You hid. I'm a man. If any man right here chooses to challenge me, I will fight him straight up. You ran away. You ran. You hid. You hid. You hid. You hid. You hid. You're scared of Latinos.
Stop engaging him.
You're scared of Latinos. You're scared of Latinos.
And told
You're scared of Latinos.
That I ran.
Yes.
And that is nowhere on a
You ran. You hid.
Turn my back. We had people with bulletproof vests. Then this man called me hoes.
I didn't call you hoes.
He called me hoes on his platform. Then the guy that
you want to be a hoe, you could be that.
Mario, Pan-Africanist, he completely lied and said that as soon as Mario came up, that I said, what's your lineage? That didn't happen.
Who cares? None of these people are going to do anything about any of that. So what? Okay, so what is he?
I don't see, the only nigga that will attack women is a guy who bends over for white men. Let me say this again. The only men that attack our Aboriginal women is a man that bend over for white men. This nigga is a soft ass nigga, man.
What is he gonna do? Nothing. Toothless dog. Toothless dog.
Mario came up that I said, what's your lineage? That didn't happen.
Who cares? None of these people are gonna do anything about any of that. So what? Okay, so what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? What is he? Nothing. Toothless dog. Toothless dog. Toothless dog.
Oh, he talking crazy. Oh no, he done crossed the motherfucking line, Chief. I swear to God, I put this on Montezuma and Chief Cornstarch. You understand me? Put this on my mama's mama. I would have been popped off. Everybody out there would have been beating his. I would have popped off. I would have popped off. You understand me? I swear to God, I put that on everything I love. You're not coming to that Pan-African bullshit to where I am. I'm popping off. I would have slapped this big ass nigga on his neck, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, by the way. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Support the channel. Thumb up the video, man. Thumb up the video. Support the channel. If y'all haven't supported the channel, Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen, ticking across, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. We're not tolerating no disrespect for no Pan-Africans. Y'all might allow that shit to happen. I'm not going for that. I would have popped off. This dude talking crazy.
Said, what's your lineage? That didn't happen.
Who cares? None of these people are gonna do anything about any of that. So what? Okay, so what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do? What is he? Nothing. Toothless dog. Toothless dog. Toothless dog. You guys are scared of Hispanics. You're scared of Hispanics. I saw him punk you. They punked you. She punked you. The corn lady punked you. Now you're gonna fight. How you gonna fight Power 106?
knows that I
It is.
did not
What you're
lie.
doing is bullshit.
And
Starting a problem
he
that you'll
said,
never have to live to
notice
experience the
how-
consequences of.
would you like to
Because
have a-
people is
would you
talking
like
about
to have an
violence right now
dialogue?
between blacks and
Why are you
Mexicans.
yelling at other people?
I'm not talking to you.
Because
You don't want to talk. You don't want to talk.
protesting.
Listen, man, this lady got y'all up here on false pretenses. That's the reality. She voted for Kamala Harris, but she got a problem with Tiger? So Tiger's not FBA, but Kamala Harris is. Okay, we got it.
This guy,
We understand your logic.
This guy also said
What's up, bro?
that you were here to discuss Tiger.
I'm
We're
very
not here to discuss
I'm very
Tiger.
relaxed.
Yo,
We're
why
not
you
here
more
to
angry about the
discuss
stupid
Tiger.
shit?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry at
This is
all.
dumb. This is dumb.
No,
man.
this is dumb. This is dumb.
We trying
Because
you
she's
black?
great.
This is the part where I got punked. Supposedly, I guarantee you.
Hold on, that nigga started talking crazy, but then these niggas surrounded. Look how these niggas surrounded him. That nigga, look at his face. At this moment, he knew. At this moment, he knew with keeping it real goes wrong. God damn, nigga, Dave Chappelle need to bring that shit back. This nigga got scared to the motherfucker. This nigga walked up on him. Hey, when the first dude walked up on him, he was serious. He was like, yeah, hold on. He looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Then he noticed it was a couple more. That nigga was like, oh, hell no. That nigga was like, huh? Huh? And he didn't notice cuz right here, all cuz right here. You know what I'm saying? As the scene go, that nigga looking like, yeah, well, I think I fucked up right about there. I think I fucked up right about now.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, right.
Hey, Brandon, we trying
No, I'm not. I'm white.
Hey, Brandon, we trying to people.
Why you're not? What is your point of discussing? If you're up here to listen, bro.
He said, no, I'm not black, I'm white. Listen to him.
No, I'm not black. I'm white.
Hey, Brandon.
He said, no, I'm not black, I'm white. God damn, them pale faces done. He done, boy, you just listen. You's a big South boy. Just because you don't let your white man put a little white in you, excuse my French, that's some nasty shit. Just because you had a little white in you don't mean you's a white man. Just because you had a little white in you don't mean you the white man. Y'all understand that? This nigga soft as hell, man. This nigga soft. I swear to God, no nigga will ever come to an Aboriginal event and do no shit like this, boy. His ass gonna get demolished. Nigga, I put that on everything, nigga. That nigga will get demolished. Let's continue this shit.
Are you black? No, I'm not black. I'm white.
Hey, Brandon, we trying to people.
Why you're not?
What is your point of discussing?
If you're up here to listen, bro. You guys came up here because Tiger was disrespected by Hispanics. This lady got up here and disrespected Tiger more than the Hispanics. I don't know. They tried to make it into xenophobia. That's what happened. But you guys don't know the details. Y'all just here. So don't tell me. Don't tell your.
Hey, scorched earth. Scorched earth. I ain't gonna lie. Ask your mama was I a coward, nigga. Lay down and lick your nuts. Somebody wipe this little boy nose. Get his ass the fuck out the chat, man. Shoot his ass into oblivion. Scorched earth. Your ass is gone, little boy. Fuck out my chat, ho. Fuck out my chat, ho. Somebody get this big soft ass motherfucking lost nigga out my motherfucking chat too. Scorched earth, get the hell out of here. Nigga. Get the fuck out of here. You understand me? We ain't playing with these motherfucking Pan-Africans. I've been spanking y'all up for so long. We the reason y'all niggas extinct right now. We done overgrazed the land. Nigga, I'm so mad. I'm trying to save one of you last Pan-Africans. But it ain't gonna be this big soft nigga. I will whoop the dog shit out this nigga. He disrespectful. He done crossed the line already. This nigga done crossed the line. Shout out to Sister Soul, man. She said, stomp on they bullshit. You already know what the word is. You already know what the word is. You know we stomping on all bullshit. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's continue.
Sister right here. To be honest, stop being hypocrite. But how come you're not here supporting?
Because I don't support stupidity. I don't support things that divide up black people, which is what this does. That's what I don't support.
We're not dividing nothing.
Yes, it is. She's over here telling.
We're speaking.
She told Pan-African Report when he came up here, "Where you from? What's your lineage?" Like that. Disrespected that man.
Oh, that dude came up here disrespectful.
That's your homie, right?
He came up here disrespectful.
Man, I don't want to hear it. No, bro. You don't ask no black man what's his lineage when he come in the sport. He's the one who told them about this.
He said he's not with us. He said he's not with us. He said we're weird. That's what he said.
You guys what?
He said we were weird. He's not with us.
Okay, so what do you? I mean, what's the point? What y'all gonna do? They don't even want to talk to you.
No, this is dumb. Why we?
This is dumb. They don't want to talk to you.
This is dumb.
Well, then why you right here?
We hear about our
Listen, man, this lady is having a vanity project, and you guys are just a part of that. That's all that is. This lady voted for Kamala Harris. She's against tethers and all that, but she's voting for a tether. She's voting for someone who's not black, ADOS. She's voting Democrat, but lying on the internet talking about we're against Democrats. She's lying. She's a liar. You don't even know this lady. You don't even, at least he knows me. No one knows her, but y'all just here. Come on, bro. You can't press me over something stupid.
When I first met you, I didn't know.
Listen, are you guys standing here because you guys want to push me away from this position? Because you guys are very close. Okay, so just like you guys have a right to protest, I wasn't saying anything. I just was holding my camera.
You don't want to be loud.
We don't. Well, she has a bullhorn, brother. She has a bullhorn, but you don't want to be loud. Okay.
We are here.
I was quietly recording. She addressed me first. Right or wrong, black man? Right or wrong, black man? I was quietly recording, minding my business. Well, Townsend is here. I was quietly recording. She engaged me. And then I said, she asked me, I answered. That's it.
For me, brother, as respect for a black woman.
No, don't start with respect. Don't start with respect.
You called my name if I heard you.
No, you're recording me. So that's why I called your name. It's fine. You can record me.
Okay, no, I'm gonna stop recording.
But it's very public. So okay. See, this is my issue, bro. I was standing there minding my damn business, not saying anything. She addressed me because she's an attention seeker. But you're the one who made the video about me. Why are they in my face? About whatever. She's the one who addressed me. I answered her question. Now they're all, I mean, not like they're going to do anything. I'm not, saying that. They want to.
Brandon, ain't it funny that this is, when you're watching this is fucking embarrassing. Like,
it's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing as me as a man. Like, how the hell do men sit there and think what that lady is saying is okay? It's okay.
Man, this sounds like a foreigner talking. This sounds like a straight up African. Let's finish watching the video. This nigga gonna keep. We don't want to hear your big ass. We want to see the video. Play us the video.
Because when you sit up and let a female down talk your own homie, there's ulterior motives. Period. Okay.
I'm not recording.
Now,
as a black man,
yes.
I'm gonna give respect to the.
As a black man, have the sense to know when something is not right and don't be a part of it.
To understand. Can you listen with the intent to understand? And
I was quiet until she said something.
Can I say one thing?
You say many things.
No, I just want to say one.
Okay.
As a black man, I want to respect the black queens. If I don't agree with her, I do not cause a scene in front of other people.
Brother,
that's all I'm saying to you.
You guys are past the point of logic. I was standing here. Listen, brother. I was standing here quietly recording. I didn't say anything. She addressed me on a bullhorn. So don't come to me talking about be quiet, be the respectful. I was quietly here recording. That's it. Didn't say a word. Oh, let's respect the queens. Let's not cause a scene. Look, idiot. I wasn't saying.
He ain't gonna respect no queen. That nigga pulled down his britches for the white man. He don't give a fuck about what you black women got to say. You Aboriginal women got to say. He don't respect you. He pulled down his britches for the white man. Think he care about some black woman?
This is the manosphere respect. That's what you got here.
Thank you so much. Guys could have done there. That's why that's true. Only supposed to do it. Daryl Ross, thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Before you put it on,
When it's my turn, you got to jump up on me.
Man to woman, may we have a respectful dialogue?
We're dialoguing. Go ahead, say what you have
Okay,
to
so
say.
my first question to you is,
You went on Dinah Samir too, huh?
Dinah Samir?
Yeah.
I know Dinah loosely.
They talking.
okay, so my
So you guys probably didn't catch that.
You guys probably didn't catch that. I fucking hate his voice, you guys. You guys probably didn't catch that. You guys didn't catch that. You were. It's a few words I be wanting to say, man, but the internet be trying to constrain us sometimes. Just say you Toga. If anybody speak pig Latin.
is it that you perceive that I'm doing wrong?
I don't perceive it, but I don't perceive it as what's happening. The thing that's wrong is you made this about Tyga being disrespected by the dude American Cholo. I made a video about American Cholo. No problem. He's whatever. Then we get the video of you here. Listen, I'm just like, I don't want to look directly at you because you already talking about somebody threatening your life and stuff like that.
It's on your life feed.
Whatever you want. But anyway, I'm just telling you. The thing is, then you made it seem about like it was about Tyga. Then you get on here on camera in the foyer or whatever you call this, talking about Tyga's not our lineage, he's not FBA, he's da-da-da-da-da. So then I realized, wait, this is not about Tyga. This is about you trying to use Tyga's his notoriety and fame as a springboard to beg for access to these white folks and Latinos folks' space. Because you don't come up in defense of somebody, then start disparaging that person on camera and talking about how they're not qualified to speak for you. He never spoke for you. He spoke for his art, his music, and he spoke to his Hispanic fans. That's it. He didn't say nothing about you, FBA, or nothing. So the reality is, there's a scripture in the Bible that says a student cannot be greater than his teacher. Tariq Nasheed is your teacher. He's a race hustler and attention seeker, and therefore you are the student of him. And now you are doing what he does. The only issue I have with it is this stuff has the potential to escalate to the street level between Hispanics and blacks, which is already a tense situation. You're not going to deal with that. I'm sure you don't live in the hood. You don't know. I don't even know where you're from. But as a person from Long Beach, where I've experienced it, I've been to county jail. I've experienced it, riots, all that between Hispanics and blacks. Why stir up the hornet's nest when you're not even here on righteous causes? You're here to try to get access to this space for FBA, which is just something that you guys claim is based on lineage, but reality is just based on xenophobia, hating on other black people. Bro, if it's not based on xenophobia, why is she asking people what's your lineage when they're walking up?
Just let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
Answer all questions. Thank you for
I'm
that.
done.
I'd like to introduce myself to you. My name is Connie Collins. I'm the executive director of the National Coalition for Equality, Equity, and Justice. From the outset, anybody can watch the first video where I'm.
He don't like no strong woman. He don't like no strong woman, man. Look at this elder. Talking about she's 60. Look damn good for 60. Might I add, look good for 60. Shout out to that Aboriginal sister. Black don't crack. You understand me? Aborigine don't crack. You understand me? You know what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We got a couple people in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. He don't respect these beautiful, strong Aboriginal FBA women. He like strong white men. So he wouldn't understand where we coming from, brothers. You understand me? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the empresses in the chat. We like to show extra love to the empresses. Shout out to y'all in the chat. Hey, man, if you haven't supported the channel, if you're enjoying the live stream, hit that like button, thumb up the video. Link to the Cash App, PayPal information at the bottom of the screen, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Let's continue.
In the equity, equality. She's actually going to show you that. She's actually about to tell you that she's not really up there for any of those things. What she's doing is ambulance chasing, trying to find any little dust up to jump on so that people will follow behind her. And then you got all those alphabets behind your name. I'm part of this, but you needed Tariq to give you $500 for security.
Made it clear. We're not here to defend Tyga. We're not here to defend Tariq Nasheed. We are not here really about American Cholo, other than the fact that he was given a.
Not only is he disrespecting a beautiful elder, you know what I mean, a beautiful empress, you know what I mean, it's also an elder. She in her upper 50s, 60 years old. He disrespecting the elder. He supposed to have been popped in his motherfucking mouth soon as he uttered one disrespectful thing. Sorry, we gotta have a zero bullshit no toleration policy. No toleration, zero bullshit policy. We're not taking that shit seriously. If ain't nobody gonna stand on there, they gonna just walk all over it. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all the realest niggas in the chat, man. Y'all know what the vibes is, man. Y'all know what the vibes is.
Racist platform. That has been made clear from day one. So when American Cholo asked for an apology, he drew attention to the fact that he is a racist. That drew attention to the fact that Power 106 is racist, that they have culturally appropriated our culture. All they play is Black American music all day, every day. If you go to their website right now, there's nothing but Black faces on it. The on-air personalities are all Latino. That is a
okay, so this went from about being about Tyga.
He ain't like that. She killed him with that. She killed him with that. He ain't like that. Look at this big soft nigga. Let's just listen to a few things he's saying. Listen.
You don't situation. And Nick is still there. I think he's still there. Other people are white. But then the next thing you're gonna hear him say is, oh, Nick Cannon is not of our lineage. I told you, this is all about a job. All these Negroes is up there trying to see if they could. She's trying to see if she could get herself on Power 106. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. James, there's no way you can know if she's 100% FBA. She never showed you her papers. I asked for her papers. She didn't have them. This was BS, bro. Oh, they're racist. Bro, what are you talking about? We're not up here because Tyga. We're not up here because American Cholo. So you just woke up one morning and decided, hey, let's go protest in front of this shitty radio station that nobody listens to. Nobody even listens to Power 106 in LA. That's how bad it was. Right? Bro, Resident Ferme, right or wrong, Big Boy was all over LA on billboards. Bro, they promoted this guy so much. And that's probably why they got pissed off when he left their station. Because I think he breached his contract. Big Boy was all over billboards. I remember the guy was fat, but he could
regurgitate.
Of course. This is Tariq Nasheed's talking point verbatim.
Oh, but I was at this before Tariq started talking about it. This is called a movement.
You're telling a lot of lies.
You have 60 followers. And you're trying to get your 60 followers to believe that a Black woman has been out here.
You're going to time it, brother, so the time is equal.
Man, this lady, okay, there's majority Hispanics in LA, bro. Like, they're going to be having a greater representation than you in the job market in LA. Just like we have a greater representation than them in Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, because there's more of us there than them. They're working on their numbers, but there's more of them there than us. Do you think that Black people are going to secure wealth by getting jobs? Black people are going to secure wealth by building their own businesses and hiring other Black people. So basically this all amounted to what? I might have 60 followers, but she couldn't get 60 people to show up at that damn protest. That's what I know for a fact. But anyway, so all this is about Black people ain't got no jobs. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is BS. This is, let her talk. Like, I should have turned around and said, or what? Nigga, you ain't gonna do nothing. But I was just like trying to be peaceable, right? Let her talk. Man, these guys, let her talk. Like, come on, man. You look goofy as hell. You got your Black woman showing up with a bullhorn, begging another man, the Hispanic and the white man, saying, white daddy, we need jobs because these niggas can't make nothing for us. You should be embarrassed to hear that. You should be embarrassed to hear that. You should be embarrassed to hear that. These dudes are they're just simps. They're simps. Oh, we need these Latinos and white people to give us jobs. Nobody want to, bro. There are 16 million vacant jobs in America. Trust me, if you wanted a job, you could do it. But they standing there like they so tough. Skip, you did something of relevance. Why don't you give all these people jobs? Bring the black people on in. No. We're going to beg the Latino-owned radio station to give us a 2 internships. Right.
China for Tyga. So when we talk about lineage is important. What is your
What's
lineage?
your lineage?
I will tell you. I'm a
No, you tell me. I don't. No, I want a paper. I want genealogy.
I'm sorry, sir.
So you could just make up anything. So you could just make up anything. Oh, so why should?
So when I ask her to prove her lineage, you're not a slave catcher. I don't want to walk around with. I don't walk around. Right. Because I guarantee you this lady's like Filipino or something. She ain't no freeman like that. There's a lot of racially ambiguous people running around LA pretending. Ooh, I could go and hold a bullhorn and be in charge of something. And somebody said, lawyer precision. This lady went left field, dude. This was about American Cholo disrespecting Tyga and saying the N-word on Power 106. This turned into, we need a job application. That's lawyer precision? Man, that's goofball shit. If you're going to attack white supremacy for disparity in hiring, I think you should go to a business that actually does a lot of hiring. Go over to Home Depot. Go over to Walmart. They're hiring a lot of people. You're going to go to a radio station? Radio stations have very few employees. Very few. And all the employees that worked there were white. They were white.
I'm going to stop this video right here, man, because this is going to get into some other shit that I want to get into. This dude's soft, and this is what they build in our community, and this has been an agenda by the global elites for so long, to push the homosexual communities from the England, the Church of Rosicrucian, the regular 13 bloodlines, and the Vatican. This all has been an issue from them. And to piggyback off of this gay dude, we're going to get into the history of how all this started in America.
Before we can understand the history of Charleston, we must have a section questioning England and the monarchs who ruled it, and their allegiances. I think that most of the local historians are, at the very least, hesitant to dive into the alternative regarding royal bloodlines. But I believe it is crucial to cover the obscured side of history before even beginning the mainstream narrative. This is the only way we can begin to see the symbols responsible for making Charleston what it is today. All we hear is the promotion of this great turbulence in British history. But this really didn't start till after the supposed English Civil War, which saw the execution of Charles I. It's not until Charles II took the throne that we hear of all this lavish decadence in art, architecture, and design. No, there are many things that don't add up with this narrative, and I think we can expose that just by digging into these personalities and biographies just a little bit further. Charles I was the king who was beheaded during the Civil War, and anytime you see Civil War, usually you know this has to do with divide and conquer, or some type of hijack. This will be further shown as we proceed, but the first tactic used in this process was religious division. The Protestants, who in the mainstream history are presented as opposed to the Catholic Church, this is really just the main piece of propaganda or tools that are being used in occulting our past. This opens a whole nother can of worms, including the true originators of these spiritual philosophies and how they were stolen and used as mind control weapons on the masses. It's just more inversion. The only real difference between Catholics and Protestants in philosophy is that one can believe that they can reach heaven by faith alone, and the other, right, the Catholics, believe that faith is done by good works. Basically, these new Protestants of the Reformation believe that you can commit evil and still be forgiven because, you got faith. Quote, the doctrine of sola fide is related to differing views on the theological role of repentance, where believers of sola fide, following Calvin and Luther, consider repentance identical to the belief in bringing about the, quote, change of heart that constitutes faith. Prior to the Reformation, baptism was the ceremonial cleansing of original sin and formal penance was required for the absolution of post-baptismal sins. Just another excuse for these elites to get away with doing whatever they want, as we will soon see. These civil wars happened in every country. Is it not suspicious that we see this with such frequency, yet no one is suspicious whether there is some type of propaganda situated with these events, as we must agree, all this history comes from the royal monarchs and the priest. But look, you don't think there's a connection between the two? Martin Luther is one of the main historical figures behind Protestantism, a German priest and theologian, best known for Protestant Reformation and the denomination of Lutheranism. Does that not sound familiar to you? Lutheranism? Anything? Take a look at this symbol and we'll come back to it. So yeah, in 1649, Charles II comes into the picture out of nowhere and I guess fought bravely for the crown but lost to the Puritans. He was then forced into exile and humiliated. Quote, Charles then spent 6 desperate weeks as a fugitive in hiding in England. He had his hair cut short to evade capture and donned leather breeches and a felt hat, imitating a country accent. After the Restoration, the king loved to regale friends with accounts of his miraculous escape. He first took refuge at the Boscobel House near Worcester, where he narrowly escaped capture by famously hiding in an oak tree for the course of a day, consuming large quantities of beer, bread, and cheese while praying he would avoid detection by the Roundhead troops which scoured the area. End quote. 12 years later, he becomes king somehow. They really don't tell us much, but we just accept whatever story they give us. They say it was because Puritanism was in decline. Not sure about that, but the Puritans were English Protestants who beheaded his father. Why would they just let him be king after he was exiled? So they try to act that this is when they basically go through some type of restoration or enlightenment stage in England, but I don't really buy that for 1 second. I mean, we're talking about people who slept with prostitutes, gambled, shit in bowls so their slaves could throw it out the window, backing up and causing mass disease in the city for everyone. We continue. His favorite mistress seems to be Nellie Gwyn, but she was sleeping with multiple aristocrats, such as Charles Hart, Lord Buckhurst, and weirdly, she loved that they were cheating on their wives with them, so yeah, I don't know. These people really don't have any values. They were just inversionists. That's what this whole Protestantism is, or at least in its whole beginning Enlightenment stage. It was all about self-enlightenment, the true dark age, self-interest in the development of ego. These elites cared for nothing but themselves, while they ate off the back of their peasants while defecating simultaneously. Are we to believe that these people are the true artists behind the creation of these beautiful old world cities? Charles II had an astonishing appetite for women. That was the hallmark of his entire rule. He had over 14 illegitimate children. Consequently, it is said he was the father of his own people. I'm going to let you guess what that means. Oh, and get this. Charles II? Yeah, he was black. They don't really tell you that in history books, huh? Quote, Charles was 1/4 Italian, and he was very dark, in fact, abnormally dark in complexion. His mother was actually reputed to have believing she birthed an actual black baby. He was called the Black Boy. Another common theme that you hear in all these stories is gambling and horse racing. All these people just spent their spare time gambling. So think about it. How many artists do you know? Do they really seem like the people to go out and spend their hobbies gambling on the abuse of horses? I don't really know any, and we'll continue to see this theme time and time again. It's not just horses. These people loved being drunkards. They were into prostitution, gambling, and it's really just as simple as that. I mean, these were not enlightened men at all. They were obsessed with the lowest aspects of being human. There also seems to be no explanation on where this passion came from to build all these massive architectures. And all these people that I know who would be involved with those activities would have no possible chance of doing anything near constructing massive churches that still cannot be replicated today. The way it worked is that a king would send out an explorer, then they would send back notes and describe what they found. In the mainstream narrative, it's just open land inhabited by savage Indians. But we will be questioning whether there's something else going on. So it seems that this explorer was named Robert Sanford. Now, this is important because this is the only proof that we have of what was going on in America during these times when the colonists first arrived. There are no pictures. All we have are leftover documents that, yes, can be forged, and all the accounts from these royal aristocrats themselves. So all we can do is decide for ourselves whether or not we should trust them. It truly isn't that hard of a task. All we have to know is who these people are and who they worked for. Robert Sanford the explorer landed in what is now the Edisto River, seems to have made friends with the local natives who accepted him in, and the story goes that he made friends with the Kiowa Indians, who, after speaking with their leader, Sasike, he was urged to allow Sanford and his companions to settle these native lands. So wait, they're telling us that the Europeans came to North America and the natives just accepted them in. They were like, oh, please, I beg of you to come take our lands. Here, just take it. So that's really what the history books say. Literally with no reason and no real plan.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. That was some good observation, mind Dunville. Who the fuck is this gonna tell? Yeah, come on, come take our land. We don't want it. We don't want it. We're trying to go back to Africa. You know, like no.
An unknown random Native American Indian gave the property of the lands of the Kiowa to the colonist. If you saw the first video, you understand how this works from a business standpoint. You see, each one of these lands were countries. Each country was assigned a king, and they were all loyal to the same head in hand, the Headless Knight, which is not just a crest, but a symbol representing the mass forces of different family bloodlines, operating as a military unit under the control of one entity, the double-headed phoenix. And I'm not going to stop calling it a phoenix, for that is the true symbol being used. The faster we realize that, the quicker we can get to an understanding of what really is going on here. The phoenix represents fire, destruction, and rebirth. It is the power symbol of the Great Reset and the rulers who rule after it. Remember, we're going to be talking about great cataclysms that occurred in Charleston. This is not unique to this location, as there were great fires, great floods, great earthquakes, and great plagues, all of which caused unfathomable damage, creating havoc in almost every major city. We continue. In 1669, I guess there was only 3 ships that came to the Carolinas under the guidance of this Robert Sanford dude. One of them was called Carolina. Then we had Port Royal Albemarle, which only made it because the other 2 got lost in a hurricane, but they tell us conveniently that they survived somehow. One reason is because the population count doesn't really add up. But before we go over that, I need to mention that Robert Sanford conquered the whole country of Sanford for Charles II in 1666. So essentially, they tell us the true founding of the Carolinas was done by Mr. Robert the Explorer under the royal command of the Corporation of England under the rule of the Vatican. Again, the Vatican during this time was a multifaceted elite family force, primarily shifting during this Venetian Renaissance. These inversionists took over the church. You'll see this with the Rosicrucians, and then dominating the entirety of the world, primarily the German empires. English, France, Spain, Dutch are all Germanic-based languages etymologically speaking. So if we were to see this from a royal bloodline standpoint, we can conclude that this was one force. Spain was owned by the Jesuits, but not only that, the Black Moorish nobility. The main immigrants mentioned in Charleston, or really the history of the Carolinas, were English and Irish immigrants. Only few, if any, references to the Dutch being here, but you know what this is getting to, right? They tell us that the slaves built all of Charleston. That's right. we're going to have some serious questions about all that. But furthermore, who do you think supplied all these slaves? I mean,
This is a beautiful image right here. I'm gonna just leave it right there and let the question go. We got a Tontonist one on this motherfucker with us, man. What's going on with it, big bro? Shout out to Tontonist one in here, man. Can you hear us loud and clear? Shout out to Tontonist one. You gotta unmute yourself, though. You gotta unmute yourself. Hey, but that's a serious question, though, man. That's crazy. Let's run that back.
the Carolinas were English and Irish immigrants. Only few, if any, references to the Dutch being here, but you know what this is getting to, right? They tell us that the slaves built all of Charleston. That's right, and we're going to have some serious questions about all that. But furthermore, who do you think supplied all these slaves? I mean, Charleston is said to be the very place where the most slaves were imported. But not just that, supplying over 40% of all enslaved Africans in North America. The East Dutch India connection has their hidden hand in this too. For some reason, randomly in the 1670s, we hear England coming into the story, and now the entire East Coast is the property of England? No real wars or anything with the Dutch, because remember, the first country to be founded in America is New Netherlands, which was a corporation and country under the rule of another company, which was its entirely own entity and country, with shareholders and everything. This was an operation, not some random musings of Charles II who just had some taste for extravagance. Come on, historians, we know better to accept this repetitive narrative at face value. These were slobs, lazy, disgusting, filthy aristocrats who had no interest in being intellectuals, but tyrants with an obsession with feces, alcohol, and hookers, while at the same time getting together with their buddies, having orgies with each other, having fun performing blasphemy. Yeah, that's the new church. Also, the tour guide kept saying, oh yeah, we were big enemies with France, because one of the people actually asked a question about this. And he said that during the colonial days, they were in war with France. And I just don't buy that at all, because literally the Carolinas were named after Charles IX of France, which even he said that the streets were literally copy and paste. Quote, how unoriginal. I mean, they literally brought up how all the street names are kind of like the same in every city. I mean, have you not seen that? If they were truly founded independently, then why are there not more creative and well thought out names behind all these cities? It's usually just these elite figures who founded the city and then slapped their name on it to show property ownership and to continue this story of oppression. So this new church, and again, this is a vast topic. I can't break it down in one video, but this gets into the occult, astrotheology, the origins of religion, and how there was a possible hijack, meaning the Bible that we know today was rewritten and presented for the minds of esoteric societies with the intention of programming the human race. This was inversion, the new Atlantis, the rise of the defiance to the church, the religion of science. And they would show this by losing all sense of morals as they spread destruction and bloodshed across the world. This truly started with the Canaanites, but for now, we will start off during these Renaissance periods. The Rosicrucians were a worldwide brotherhood who claimed to possess esoteric wisdom that was handed down from ancient times. It's important for us to study their symbols. The rose on the cross, otherwise known as the rosal pentagram. Remember what I said about inversion? And would you look at that? The exact same symbol as the family coat of arms of Martin Luther. Now, I'm not saying all Rosicrucian knowledge is evil, or even occult knowledge for that matter. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about royal bloodlines and their associates. And in order to continue this journey, we must learn about these secret societies that act in secret behind the church. This is crucial to understand, and here it is, because people always say, what's the purpose? Why would they keep this all hidden from us? because the new church controlled all these founding states in America. These churches were the first thing built, right, or founded really, when these settlers arrived. And the first in Charleston is St. Philip's, or actually the Church of England, as we will see, but the St. Michael's is said to be this church now, or something like that. They always say that they rebuild these structures after these cataclysms, but we'll question that shortly. I should also bring up St. Matthew's Lutheran Church. Look at this and tell me you don't think this looks evil. Anyways, what I'm referencing is the checkerboard and red door symbolism.
The checkerboard and red door symbolisms goes back to before masonry. And if you get into masonry, they'll tell you all of the geometry and sacred symbolisms comes from the Americas. And this checkered board floor with the red doors is what they mention and what they talk about the halls of Montezuma. In the castle of Montezuma, there's a hallway with a checkerboard floor and red doors. That's a fact. It's ancient cosmology. This is ancient science that they steal and reconvert. This is reconverted science. I don't know if we got A1 on here. You can unmute yourself at any time, man. Let's continue this live stream, though.
Yeah, peace.
These
are major red flags.
You with us? Do this particular checkerboard floor look familiar to you?
Yeah, you see that in a lot of structures in America. They said Montezuma had gold checker floors, but peace to everybody in the chat room, peace to all our Aboriginal, South Central, and the conjoining islands, man. Peace to brother AP.
Man, peace to you, bro. You already know we rocking with it, man. Yeah, we just breaking down some science, man.
He was breaking something down. Let me put you on something since you on Montezuma, right? Pull up Montezuma symbol. Montezuma II, because Montezuma II was Charles V. If you pull up his symbol is the double-headed bird, the double-headed phoenix. Montezuma II. You know what I'm saying? His symbol was the double-headed phoenix, man. And you see that a lot. Even like when you do see these Holy Roman empires or whatever, you see Moors dressed up as knights or dressed up. You see them with the double-headed bird. That double-headed bird is also affiliated with Catholicism and Christianity. Now,
you said look up who again? I didn't hear what you said. Montezuma.
Montezuma symbol.
Montezuma symbol. Oh, okay. That's Montezuma II. Let me pull him up. Give me just 2 seconds. I'll roll the screen. Boom. Montezuma II. Is this him, man? Is this what you talking about?
Yeah, but we know that's bullshit because we seen the Inca stones, what Charles V looked like. Plus, we seen other drawings, so that's a drawing that they made. But if you look his symbol up. His symbol is the double-headed bird. It's that phoenix. And after Tenochtitlan, later on, you see that double-headed bird. Now, for all we know, it could have came from the Americas, right? It could have came from here. But however it go, you see it in Europe. You see it among, like he said, in Morgan and Dogma by Albert Pike. The first symbol you see is that double-headed fucking bird. You know what I'm saying? You see the double-headed bird. So that's something very interesting. And so that's only, for me, I know that the people that came over here with that double-headed bird was Negroes. Was Moors from Rome, not Moors from Spain and Portugal. The Moors from Rome. After they pushed out the Moors that was in Spain and Portugal and Morocco area, you know what I'm saying? Then they made their way to the west.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But no, he's on point though. He's bringing a narrative where he's telling you. You heard what he said in South Carolina, the most slaves imported, right? Now, them was white people. Them wasn't Negroes.
Right. That's why he brought up the Italians, the French, you know what I mean, the Europeans in the area. Uh-huh.
They came there as slaves. But go ahead, continue. I'll mute my mic.
Yeah, we'll pause it and break down every now and then whenever you hear something. So if you want to insert, just let me know.
Symbolism. These are major red flags, not to mention the Rosicrucian connections we're about to cover. Also, this is right on Vanderhorst Street. It's the same thing as Sade. This was the Reformation, the separation from the supposed church, right? They fired the Pope, they all became their own gods, and now their religion was the cult of science, lies, and destruction. Martin Luther is just another Marquis de Sade. No joke. He's responsible for promoting this whole sexual reformation. Martin Luther promoted and created same-sex sexuality to a certain degree. This all has to do with sodomy because the old church literally had laws preventing it. Therefore, there was this sick need by the politicians and aristocrats to promote this, which, if you don't know what sodomy is, go look it up. But yeah, they would have these massive orgies together. And yep, that's a reference to Marquis Sade, which I can't really understand why all these scholars seem to worship him. Oh yeah, and let's remember that Martin Luther King Jr. was literally named after this rebellious gay monk who wanted to perform sodomy so bad. I'm looking at this article talking about this, and please understand this is no way an attack on modern homosexuality or the church or anyone.
Hey, AP, hold up.
Adults
Stop
can
right
make their own decisions, but when covering...
Yeah.
Look, right? Notice he brought up Martin Luther King, right?
Yep.
Now, Martin Luther King worked for the Rothschild. His job was to integrate us into their system.
Right.
That's why they always put Jackie Robinson on a pedestal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying last time, they got us thinking Jackie Robinson is some American hero. No, he's not. He's an integrationist, and he's one of the reasons why the Negro League fell out. Because after he joined the major leagues, all of the Negro League players wanted to be part and pro-sell to the major league. They always try to make it seem like the Negro League was some small time sports event or whatever. Right. That shit was way more popular than the NLB. You know what I'm saying? But however it go, they always show and they always try to make it seem like, you know, the Negro Leagues were small. The Negro Leagues went all the way out to Cuba, Puerto Rico, and I think it's a few other states. I don't think Dominican or a few other islands, rather. I don't think Dominican Republic was part of it. It could have been, if I could remember. But however it go, they post up Jackie Robinson. You know, Martin Luther King's job was to integrate us. That's why he said at the end of his speech, I think I integrated my people into a burning building. What you think he meant by that? He meant the fact that we integrated, and once you integrate with somebody and you're in their system, now you relying upon their resources such as jobs and employment opportunities. When we didn't need none of that, we was doing all that shit already in the South or wherever we was at. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to add that though.
Nah, that's fire, man. You going in.
Remember that Martin Luther King Jr. was literally named after this rebellious gay monk who wanted to perform sodomy so bad. I'm looking at this article talking about this, and please understand this is no way an attack on modern homosexuality or the church or anyone. Adults can make their own decisions, but when covering the history of these churches and royal monarchs, we must cover their personalities and origins. This was spawned from rebellion against the church, and even the original old church was willing to accept these gays and lesbians with dignity and respect. But the truth of the matter is, the Catholics believed sodomy was intrinsically filthy. Now, I'm not saying I agree. What people do is really none of my business, but it's interesting that there were laws in place to prevent this, possibly in place to prevent the loss of morals that we see with the destruction and pillaging of other native lands. And look, local historians are going to have to be fair. These museums and history books do not cover this aspect. We're covering the alternative history and trying to understand another explanation of what may be going on here. And in order to do that properly, we must cover secret societies. We aren't finished with Martin Luther though, as he's very important to understanding what's going on here. You see, many scholars will laugh and say, well, Martin was opposed to the Catholic Church. Okay, well, he was also an anti-Semite, or as history puts it, he was anti-Judaism. He's the author of The Jews and Their Lies, a German book from the supposed 16th century era in Germany, and it seems that the issue stems that he was not allowed to convert Jews to Lutheranism or Protestant Christianity. And in so, he wrote this book as a temper tantrum, essentially saying some pretty graphic and horrifying things towards a group of people. Now, trust me, I'm sure most of you know about the alternative to the H word. It's also called The Greatest Lie Ever Told as a title. But yeah, this connects with traitors and the betrayals of one's own people. This is denounced, of course, because this would not be so good for their origins. That is all that really can be said. However, the majority of you know what that means. What we are witnessing is a fight between different bloodline families for status and prominence. It is a petty play between immature royal aristocrats who wanted to have their own cult and power. This happens with every early denomination of the new church. He wanted the Jews to come to his religion, the new religion in which everyone can basically just have faith. Crimes are not really taken into consideration when entering heaven. As long as you have faith, you're pretty much good. I'm not sure about all of that. This is just the start of liberalism and the worship of really anything you want, which, again, you think wouldn't really be an issue, right? But it basically led to a bunch of inversionists getting in charge. And the contradictions are endless because he wasn't even racist towards the Jews, he just disagreed with them philosophically. In fact, quote, at the beginning of his career, it is often said that Luther was apparently sympathetic to Jewish resistance to the Catholic Church. He wrote early in his career, "The Jews are blood relations of our Lord. If it were proper to boast of flesh and blood, the Jews belong more to Christ than we. I beg therefore, my dear papist, if you become tired of abusing me as a heretic, that you begin to revile me as a Jew." End quote. So basically, he wrote to his leader and said, please don't kill me, because he was considered to be a heretic by the church. And so, yeah, he writes in this letter saying, oh, yeah, the Jews are closer to Christ than we are, the Protestants, but please, if you're getting fed up with me, just call me a Jew. Then it seems because of the infiltration of other bloodlines did not work as Martin Luther wanted, he decided to start creating anti-Jewish propaganda, which I honestly find highly sus because, I mean, the Vatican were already getting pissed with this guy. You really think he's just gonna get away with publishing this material with no questions asked? No, this is the beginning of a setup. Heraldry is the key into understanding this, as we can see the connection between these different bloodlines and who ruled them. But not only that, we see that these people communicate through symbolism, as do the Rosicrucians. So if we go to Wikipedia, we're going to see some occulted knowledge in action. And also, the occult is nothing to fear. It is simply that which is hidden. One of the specialties of secret occult orders or societies is hiding symbols in plain sight. You see, Martin Luther belonged to the German congregation of Augustinian hermits. From 1503, he took over the professorship in Wittenberg. He had a back or investor in doing so. This is not really considered at all in most history books, but you can look into it yourself. His patron was Johann von Staupitz, who was the vicar of this hermit order. Now, this Staupitz guy not only belonged to the Rosicrucian Lodge, he was the leader in Nuremberg. But Luther was a slave to the leader of the Nuremberg Lodge, Norbert Homuth.
This nigga named himself after some sick monk, man, some freaky sodomy using wannabe dude. This dude was obsessed with wanting to use sodomy. He was wanting to use sodomy. That is wild. That is wild. That is wild. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if you can hear and see everything loud and clear. Shout out to all the American Aborigines, man. If you have not supported the channel, man, make sure y'all support the channel. Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen. If you have not purchased American Gods pay-per-view, make sure y'all purchase that. Link is in the description box. You know what I mean? If you want to purchase the pay-per-view, the American Gods pay-per-view featuring me, a Conscious One, Jaguar Omac, definitely a fire pay-per-view. Make sure y'all go soak up that information, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. I got a sidebar for y'all since we getting in all this secret shit and this sodomy and it's probably other weird shit. Did y'all hear about Ben Franklin? Benjamin Franklin, right? They discovered a basement full of human bones out of Benjamin Franklin house, and it leads back to the time of Benjamin Franklin's stay. Most of the kids, I mean, they said it's estimated, they said they found 1,500 pieces of bones, estimated to be between 12 to 15 different people. 6 of those were children found at the bottom of Benjamin Franklin's house. Was he an ancient serial killer disguised and that you never knew about because he had money? Just like a lot of these big time Bilderberg and these political seats, man. Was they, you know, they all into pedophilia and blood sacrificing? Was Benjamin Franklin doing this back then? We got to ask ourselves. The experts claim that he was doing a secret anatomy school or facility, and at that particular time, anatomy was illegal and also shunned upon against most people. You would go to jail for practicing anatomy, which I don't know. That's kind of weird because I don't know how Western medicine and medical research would have advanced itself without the study of anatomy. So that's weird. I feel like they're making up a story for that. That's just a sidebar. How y'all feel about the 15 human bones found in a basement of Abraham Lincoln's house? Inside of a room that had no window in it. It was locked off and sealed off.
Correctly observes and presents the following passage from Luther's letter of October 3rd, 1511 to von Staupitz as one of the many evidences for this. You leave me too much. Because of you, I felt like a weaned child about his mother. I dreamed of you last night. I felt as if you were parting from me. I cried bitterly. Then you waved your hand. I may be calm. You would come back. End quote. Seems that they had a relationship, if you ask me. This also connects with the Free Masonic Lodge in Nuremberg, which they say worked in the spirit of humanism. Essentially what I'm saying, because this is a deep rabbit hole, is these lodges incited young Luther to be the face of the Reformation, while the order, the Rosicrucian order, stayed in secret. This is not a conspiracy theory. We're simply looking at mainstream history and asking questions as you can do yourself. Now, we can fully understand the lion symbolism as mentioned in the Biltmore video.
Hey, for those that don't believe me about the Benjamin Franklin information, you can just simply do a Google research and it'll pop right up. It's mainstream information at this point. You can do a simple Google search. Benjamin Franklin, bones found at his house. Benjamin Franklin, bones found at his house in a basement. You can simply type that up. They got all kind of articles, even Smithsonian articles on that. Okay.
As the Rosicrucian authors are the ones responsible for this divide and conquer tactic. You see, this requires an understanding of how politics is used to create polarities. This is still being done today. So just consider that for a moment. You see the divide going on right now. This is nothing new. Now, during the 16th century, politics were basically Catholic versus Protestant, which was a divide and conquer tactic.
You see, I got the red and blue. Yeah, it was religious. It was religious science. This is the age of religious science right here, and that's what was going on. Shout out to my boy Arthur Livingston. Shout out to my FBA brother, my Aboriginal brother. Shout out to Arthur Livingston in the chat, sending in the Cash App donation, supporting the channel, man. We really appreciate all the support. Shout out to Arthur Livingston, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, y'all. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Hit that like button, thumb up the video. If you're enjoying the live stream, man, hit the, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Support the channel, man. Shout out to the real. And we got A1 on here with us, man.
Democratic for its time. It's the same old Republican versus Democrat. I kid you not, but people still want to use this argument that, oh, they were fighting against each other, so they were enemies. No. In fact, most wars throughout history were religious wars which were fought simply on small differences, but overall, they contained the same base doctrine. It's all petty politics to distract the masses, but in this case, most importantly, to offset any type of breadcrumbs left over of this hijack for future historians. This will be proven with the writings of Paracelsus, a famous occultist who was known for revealing much, but this is only known to those who study the occult, meaning these people will take in anyone who show an interest in the occult. So that was another tool for gathering those with spiritual gifts during this time. There is a cryptic book called The Prophecies of Paracelsus that shows us some very interesting things involving these royal symbols. His real name was Theophrastus Bombast von Hohenheim, and he was considered to be one of the first alchemists. And I'm not saying there isn't knowledge to be gained from his works, but perhaps this goes actually way back and this was a recycled art. But anyways, essentially what I'm saying is that he was in cahoots with Martin Luther and the royalty of the time. At 16, Paracelsus went to the University of Basel, which, if you look into it, seems to be the origin of the Rosicrucians. Again, hidden knight controlled by the lion? So in this prophecy book, he's giving these weird cryptic stories behind all these heraldry symbols as to embed them with magic. He was hired to do this by the royals. These are now sigils. For the fleur-de-lis, he calls it a flower that will grow to a predestined height and goes on about how it is endowed with magic, and this takes a back and forth. But basically, this is a symbolism for the seductiveness of magic and how it is a flower that must be used with responsibility. This is the true symbol of the fleur-de-lis, not some random symbol we see associated with the French. Quote, a flower groweth to the destined height. He that causeth her to grow also causeth her to fade. This happens to thee, for magic hath therewith adorned thee, that thy coming up should be known, and also how thou hast come to naught. For before thou wast, magic hath known thee, and therefore compared thee to a flower that today is in bloom and tomorrow is withered. Wisdom and fear of God would have preserved thee, but thou hast overlooked it. Thine own wisdom has seduced thee. End quote. So yeah, and they also go over the lion symbolism, essentially saying that the lion is the power of God and that you will be brought to silence in its presence or rule. But yeah, the origins of the Rosicrucians were started from an assembly of Christian Kabbalists who were prepared to spread a supposed illumination and religious change throughout Europe. Now, I can't break down all of these things, but I'm telling you, look at this from an understanding of heraldry, and you'll see the secret code.
Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat, man. Y'all see this dude named Kara Ghana something Slayer? Wipe that nigga nose, y'all. Get this nigga out of here, man. Y'all already know, man.
The very next figure is the monk in a river with a paddle in his hand writing history, meaning he's basically the power behind what was written.
Let me know who confirmed that get out of there. You know what I mean? Tell me who confirmed that snipe. Confirm your kill.
I want to say that these families must be tried, just like gold must be. So an alchemy reference of them becoming enlightened, and in doing so, all these families would share the wealth of the world. Then the next is the bear sucking its paws, a symbol well known in heraldry, but now we're seeing its magical significance. This is gluttony, the eating of the honeycombs, as we see a city in the background. But the real symbol is to remind the elites to not get carried away with using too much magic for pleasure. as it will be their downfall. Magic must be used with balance. That's what the main theme of all this is. Next, we see St. Peter's chair upside down, which is a symbol for the firmness of these inversionists and how they can rule in this position with ease. Then, of course, we have the swordsman attacking the land of other peoples. Paracelsus says, quote, "Too much kindness giveth too much evil. When the evil despiseth the kindness, and the folly thereof allows it to advance in its undertaking." End quote. Then we see a great city with hands over tearing a charter, and this is telling you about hijacks and resets right here in this book. And this also covers the Masons, the stag symbolism, the lamb, and any scholar of symbolism should be able to see these connections clearly. It is said that Francis Yates was one of the first Rosicrucians, but we will see that this goes earlier to the Germanic royal bloodlines. The whole purpose of the Rosicrucians were to have a, quote, "universal reformation of mankind through a science allegedly kept secret for decades until the intellectual climate might receive it." End quote. I wonder what that means. I'll tell you what I think. Basically, this is a mind control tactic, but not only that, a reset of humanity and her philosophies. Also interesting that the Temple of the Rose Cross is buildings being moved on wheels with wings, meaning the moving of the church, the creation of the new church of science. This actually connects with mortal engines too, but
no, nigga, y'all forgot that they had that building that they moved down the river. What was that building that they moved down the river? It's a whole structure. They moved that bitch down the river. On my mama. So they was moving houses back in the day, man. This is some shit right here. This is some deep ass shit right here. I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually enjoying it. I'm just sitting back listening. I done lit up my other wood. This is some good information. I'm gonna break this down. Cause this is my first time watching this. We watching this all at the same time. This is my first time watching this. Maybe y'all already seen this shit. I ain't seen it. You understand me? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Sister Betty. Sister Betty, what up, though? Shout out to Sister Betty. Shout out to Willie.
you see what they're hinting. They're saying until the intellectual climate might receive it or better perceive it. That time is now. These were occultists behind the scenes creating the political warfare. This is also connected with John Dee and Francis Bacon, which, again, opens up a whole nother can of worms. But to shorten it, this was the underground influence behind all these countries in Europe during these times. We must cover the Reformation as it is intimately connected with Charles II and the founding of Charleston. I mean, what kind of Enlightenment period are we even talking about? Francis Bacon, you guys probably know him, right? William Shakespeare was one of the founding writers of the King James Version of the Bible. No, I'm not claiming that he wrote the original Bible. I'm just saying he was the editor of both Shakespearean literature and the King James Bible behind the scenes. This is actually well known in scholarly circles, so don't take my word for it. It's not just a myth. The evidence is there if you dig around. But essentially what this shows is how propaganda was being orchestrated behind the scenes by the same writers. So how are we to know if any of these figures even truly existed? Another proof of this is the blatant Rosicrucian symbolism of the first cover of the King James Bible. This is the first illustration released as an engraving, and if we open our eyes and look at the symbolism, we can clearly see this was created by inversionist Rosicrucians who were getting ready to be the foundation of the Freemasons in America. The reason we spent this time covering the Rosicrucians first is because when you learn about Charleston, the first thing you learn about is King Charles II. But who was he and what was he all about? He essentially was part of the Reformation of England, or he was the Reformation, the process of the Puritans, who were English Protestants who had separated from the Catholic Church. Now, people may find this as a shock because we hear tales about the Salem witch trials, right? And how these Puritans were such a pure people. But if we look into the origin of this philosophy, it really starts with Martin Luther, the Rosicrucians, and secret occult German Dutch orders. The whole hunting witch stuff is just propaganda to make the occult and witchcraft seem like paranoid superstition. But the real witches were the intellectuals. They were the alchemists and masters of philosophical symbolism that then allowed them to control and mentally manipulate the entire population. We're dealing with mentalism on a whole nother level. It doesn't mean that these philosophies do not contain truth within themselves, but that they have been abused and distorted to meet an end goal. Charles II and Robert Murray seem to be the same person. And yes, this is where I think the name Murray actually comes from. It's spelled a little bit differently as you go earlier, but we're going to be talking about that name a lot in this video. Now, you tell me that they don't look exactly the same, which is weird because there's a Charles of Spain, Germany, France. All these countries have the same names that they give the kings. How can we conclude that they are enemies? They're literally the same people in bloodline. They even admit this with the Habsburgs. I mean, this dude looks like the Crimson Chin or something. So yeah, they were all related, but Robert Murray was a huge Masonic figure in Scottish.
Let's go back to the Crimson Chin dude.
Yeah, that Habsburg Chin is a Moor. All of them people he talking about are all Moors. You know what I'm saying? All of them. Well, if you want to call them black Iberians, aka black Europeans, if you want to, you know, people reference them people over there that was all in that area as Moor. So I'm just saying. But I mean, it's another king. They got the same image, but he's a nigga with a beard and shit. You know what I'm saying? So even this history he's saying it's all surrounding around Catholicism. You know what I'm saying? That's what all that shit is surrounding. All of this shit they saying, all these people that was running anything, they always connected to the Holy Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we don't know what year that this is not in the 1500s. This is closer to like maybe the late 1800s or like the beginning of the 1700s. None of this shit he talking about. Remember what my man said? The white guy even said that the last 500 years, 500 European history only been in effect for 500 years. That makes you think about something. So where was they at and what was they doing prior to 500 years? So all of the stories that we hear about, all of this stuff we be talking about, you know what I'm saying? Especially the original Romans. So all the Europeans wasn't there for none of that. Okay, we're clear on that. But go ahead.
Right, let's go. That's the original guy that they was talking about.
No, that's King James. That's supposed to be King James. Oh man, I don't really feel like maneuvering it right now. But that Habsburg sin, that's the same thing that Michelle Gibson was talking about in that video. She was showing how Charles V and that same king. I keep forgetting exactly what part he was in Europe or whatever though. But yeah, the motherfucker had a fucking curly beard, just like Charles V had. But that's King James, the image you got that's layered over them two.
Okay, what's your stuff, man? Let's continue the live, man. This is about that live. Shout out to everybody in the building too, man. Drop a fire emoji, hit the like button, support the channel, man. Support the channel, man.
So yeah, they're all related, but Robert Murray was a huge Freemasonic figure in Scottish rites who seemed to give great counsel to the Majesty, Charles II. So we know that Charles II were hanging out with all these people. On June 29, 1660, 6 years before the founding of the Carolinas, Charles II was at supper with the Duke of Buckingham and John Haydon, who was the self-proclaimed champion of the Rosicrucian Seraphical Illuminated Fraternity. You see, Hayden was delighted when Buckingham had introduced him into the good graces of the king, and so he was introduced into royalty at the time. Then, under a pseudonym, Eugenius Theodidactus, he had started to collect investors for his endeavor to then promote Rosicrucian propaganda. His writings basically show the Rosicrucian influence on the development of Freemasonry and the Royal Society. In 1658, Hayden published a new method of Rosicrucian physics, in which he stressed the Jewish or Kabbalistic origins of Rosicrucianism, which is true. He claims that Moses was father and founder of the fraternity, which was the order of Elias or Ezekiel. Obviously, this is a huge topic, but the Rosicrucians could easily take up an entire library. However, the point is to get a glimpse that Charles II and the Church of England were all a part of this Rosicrucian goal to move into a new Atlantis, a new church, a new humanity. Being that many of the founders of the new churches in America are steeped in this connection, even in Charleston, do the red doors on this Lutheran church make more sense now? This is a Rosicrucian temple. Study the symbols, and you'll see them everywhere. Okay, so to finish off this section, we got a couple more facts about Charles II, just to drive home the point, and so there's no doubt left behind or anything. This ties in with the last video with the Dutch and their corporations, as the Rosicrucians were being formed during this exact time period, and there's no denying that they had a huge influence over the Baltic Lion or Northern Europe. We see proof of this within the East Dust India Company logo. I didn't really elaborate in the last video, but the pentagram that I mentioned is the Rosal pentagram. And yes, it is a pentagram, and it is Rosicrucian symbolism. These aren't things that history museums are just going to grab your hand and say, oh, here, let me show you. They're not in the business of making you aware of the hidden hand behind all these different events. You have to see the symbols and put it together yourself. Furthermore, King Charles grew up in his father's Dutch and French art collection. His younger cousin was Louis XIV. Remember the poop video? Again, this all connects here. These are all the same families, and they were doing all the same type of stuff. So, when he was restored to the throne, the Dutch gave him a huge collection of artwork. That sounds familiar. One of the most curious events about this whole Rosicrucian manifestos, as we're talking about with Francis Yates, is that it described the workings and missions of a hidden society, the Brotherhood of the Rosy Cross. This was designed to be an alternative to the Jesuit order, with the pursuit of, quote, universal and general reformation. This would be the final completion of their works that were supposedly begun by the Protestants. This goal of reformation was to bring together all the arts and sciences under a natural and spiritual philosophy. And even though many of the main figures argued in their tenets in this way, their true manifestations was in self-enlightenment, which resulted in Charlestown, essentially being a getaway liberal city where you could worship whatever you want, get drunk, gamble, brothels, all of it. And it didn't really matter because remember, as long as you had faith, you were forgiven. How convenient. Now, to show you that this is all but a Venetian Jesuit order in control and have been in control ever since Rome, we have the Knights of Malta. These are the origins of the Rosicrucians, also known as the Knights Templar, the Teutonic Order, as this was a secret Catholic
Nah, go back when he showed the Knights of Malta. Nah, forward, go forward. I think it's right there. Oh, right there. Look on the left, right there, right? Then if you look in the top pictures, I mean, I can't really make them out. I could be wrong, but that right there.
That's a nigga, and these look like niggas covered up with their heads.
But look how he dressed though. Look how he's dressed.
Yeah.
It look familiar?
Which one? This one right here?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, look familiar. Look at his hair. Look like they trying to mimic his hairstyle when they put up these damn feather crowns. But that's his natural hair though. His natural hair look like man.
Don't he look like he dressed like the Scottish?
Yeah, he look like the damn Scottish.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying though. But look,
The Scots or what? Or the Scots.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's how they was.
What did they call? What was ancient Scotland called?
Well, there's a couple of names. One of them was Mere Island.
Mere Island, right? Or Moore Island.
Exactly.
These niggas ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's some good observation right there, everyone. For sure. Let's continue.
Deep in grief, you were forgiven. How convenient. Now to show you that this is all but a Venetian Jesuit order in control and have been in control ever since Rome, we have the Knights of Malta. These are the origins of the Rosicrucians, also known as the Knights Templar, the Teutonic Order, as this was a secret Catholic sovereign military order of Malta, also known as the Sovereign Military Order of St. John of Jerusalem, a closed fraternity of the Roman Catholic Church. So we're just talking about brotherhoods here. You must be initiated, and as we can see with the coat of arms, this is but another underground program of the royal throne who, interestingly, are always named similar things. Like in 1530, so 100 years earlier, the Knights of Malta were in a perpetual lease with Charles I of Spain for the Maltese Islands. These secret orders were controlled by royalty. They also have the same exact Protestant equivalent, who are known as the Order of St. John of
Look, that's it
Jerusalem,
right there.
gaining even
Go
greater
back.
credibility when the
Hold on. No. Oh, right there. Okay. That's the Habsburg Joker
that's
right
the chin that you was talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that nigga chin.
I mean, Joe.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's him. The one that he showed the first time, right? Now go next. Go. Well, yeah, go forward. Look, all niggas, look. Go. I mean, the next picture too. Right there. Right there. He's showing on nigga. I want to hear what he's saying about that. If he ain't putting no commentary in when it come to that.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
royalty. They also have the same exact Protestant equivalent, who are known as the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, gained even greater credibility when the head of the British Empire, H.M. Queen Victoria, became the sovereign head in 1888. This technique used in implementing this agenda is called Hegelian dialectic, which essentially is mind control techniques used
Laying dialect. That's what they say. The people that the MK Ultra was using on the people, and they say that's an ancient form of ancient Sumerian language that you can find in the Dinka codes or the Dinka scripts. So listen, this is some deep shit right here, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
But he ain't giving no commentary though. He ain't saying like what
he's not. He ain't because this is so much information. That's why we gotta come and give the extra commentary for you.
No, but when you see the different, when you see niggas in them pictures, that's something that white people normally say something about, or the ones that really want to put the information out, they would call the people that's in them pictures by their name or what they was being addressed as. You know what I'm saying? For all we know, these images they showing you, you know what I'm saying, with the white people added a lot of this illustration and these motherfucking cartoon characters that they have that they're fictitious trying to act like they was there, and all of these drawings and all of this shit. I think
I think he explained this. I have not for sure because me and you watching this for the first time right now. But this video particular is 4 hours long about this topic. This is a 4 hour long video. I'm gonna send it to you after this live stream.
No. I'm just saying he went from showing all white people now
to showing all niggas.
Now he's showing niggas, and he ain't explaining it. He
He
ain't
ain't telling
explaining
it.
it.
Well, I think he kind of explained in the beginning. Did you catch the beginning?
Yeah, I heard it though, but he ain't say like, all right, well, who do you? But then again, yeah, he did say
That they lying, they stealing cultures, they
he
act
did
like
say the
they.
Moors. He did say the Moors. He did say that in the beginning, like before he started to show a lot of these pictures and shit though. But like they are like this the first shit I started to see, like to really see that shit wasn't what they were saying it was. Even if I still had a mind of a Pan African, I still like seeing Negro present, and these people don't look oppressed. These people look like they running shit, and these people are their fucking peasants. And I ain't trying to be funny because no one should be oppressed.
I'm just saying though, who did black people in Europe create this government and this science and this shit that you see, or is this science come from somewhere else that established it in this particular place? Where is this science come from? Is this natural? Is this shit native to these areas?
I mean, it's definitely part of the science that we taught, or the people that was connected to the Americas or whatever. We know the Slav. I don't like I said the you know what I'm saying. It's still up for debate.
I'm talking about these black Europeans. Are these black Europeans?
Well, according to some people, that's what they would consider them, black Europeans.
So these are the people that brought the sciences to America that everybody is talking about then, right?
No. How? How did they bring
it? That's what I'm saying.
The science is sedating this, man. They like according to their history, they saying that all of this shit happened in 1492. When you get all into the Columbus story and Queen King Ferdinand and Isabella and all of that type of shit, but that happened a lot more recent than we think, bro. They wasn't doing none of that, and then like I'm saying, like all the stuff that they saying was 1492. It might be like either 1692 or 1792.
Right. All recorded history that we know today, all the history that you ever been taught in history comes after the 1500s, at least.
Christopher Columbus is a story like Gilligan Island, and motherfuckers be running around here referencing it, and without even and like we all get to the point.
Columbus said that America was the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, but we don't even know if it's really.
Christopher Columbus, he might not even existed. Christopher Columbus could have been a operation, like Operation Blue Beam. Operation.
It's his Hellion dialectic.
That's what I'm saying. Mind control.
That's what it is. It's Hellion dialectic. Just like these images, and then what I'm saying is he's showing all these white people, and now he gets to the segment where all these niggas start showing up. Like, put some commentary on that. Please don't tell me this motherfucker with this fucking night suit on is a goddamn slave. I'm gonna fall out the chair. And that's what they got people thinking every time, like in these images, even though a lot of these images are still kind of false and they just painted over motherfuckers. Still, explain to me what is this nigga position? Because he looking like he's, you know what I'm saying, like he's in some type of superior position, along with all the other images you see. Whether or not this has anything to do with the Americas, I know the connection, but to anybody, just think about that. You know what I'm saying? So
that's some shit right there.
Go ahead, play. Go ahead, rock it.
That's some shit. Here you go.
And directing the thoughts and actions of the public. Became the sovereign head in 1888. This technique used in implementing this agenda is called Hegelian dialectic, which essentially is mind control techniques used in directing the thoughts and actions of the public to implement an end goal. First, you have a thesis. Then you need the antithesis. Then you push for synthesis. In other words, problem, reaction, solution. This is the basis for implementing change in civilization from these esoteric inversionists under the guise of intellectualism that then is promoted and funded by the state. If we're going to take into consideration these secret occult orders, royal bloodlines, and the heraldry connection, and this will be further repeated and further expanded upon on every video because it is crucial in decoding our past. You see, we historians should all be well versed in the occult, for it is the only way to truly understand symbols.
Hell nah,
But
that
more so,
history fake.
we
That
must
ain't how it
participate
goes.
in the process of de-occulting,
I'll put you up.
otherwise the process of unveiling that which is hidden. This is necessary if we're to understand our history. So we come back to Charleston, and the story goes that life was super easy for the
Hey,
colonists,
look at the background
unlike in
of that,
Virginia and New England.
that picture.
Can't help to wonder why.
Look right there. Look at the background of it. Like the little city line and everything. That shit look like I don't know what that like one of them buildings. I'm just saying, even though it's a drawing, though, just for them to even have the technology to build this shit like this, coming from, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, the whole story, man. You know,
These pictures, I don't want to call them drawings because it takes away from the precision and the documentation of it in acute detail. These are painting renditions. These are renditions. You understand me? These are painting renditions. And so these were illustrated to forecast or to show and illustrate a real area in real time to the best of their ability. Most of these renditions are before photos, before photography, before cameras. So these was very important drawings, if that's what you want to call them. But we call it in the science and in the documentation form, these are renditions, painting renditions. Okay, these are real document. All right. And look at these buildings. You think they just illustrated some shit they never seen before and just put it in the fucking background? No, they literally seen this and drew this. This was an image planted inside of somebody's memory bank, and they wrote that and they drew that shit. What they constantly keep seeing in their brain, what's stuck in their head. Okay, just let you know. You got something you want to say else to that, big bro?
nah, I was gonna say, yeah. They where did they get the idea? And you know they gotta throw the whole narrative that these are Europeans doing this shit or whatever. But you know, like we gotta keep on adding to it. You know what I'm saying? One no European in no superior position over here in the timeline that they keep telling you from 1619 to 1865 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That 1619 story is about them being brought over here. You know what I'm saying? Like they changed the whole narrative to everything. You know, even if you want to look at it in the sense that, you know, 1619, you know what I'm saying? Like it may not never have existed in the first place. That might just be another story. But however it go, whenever the story started, it was Europeans being brought over here, whether they was already like in Central America somewhere, you know, the story that go along with that, or they really did come from Europe somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying. But keep it moving, AP.
For sure, man. Let's keep it going, man. Shout out to the 279 people we got in here. We lit. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel, man. If you have not supported the channel, Cash App and PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen. You feel me? Hey, man, we just now getting started. We're gonna let this thing go on. This is a lengthy video, so I want to kind of get into a lot of this because it's a lot to break down. I'll probably do a 3-part, 4-part series to it because it's just so much to unravel. You understand me? It's so much to unveil. No point intended. You understand me? So shout out to all the American Aborigines in the building, man. Support the channel. Let's continue the live stream.
So we come back to Charleston, and the story goes that life was super easy for the colonists, unlike in Virginia and New England. Can't help to wonder why, but these Indians basically just gave them free land, as the story goes. They tell us that in 1670, North America and the West Indies had been settled by the English. But I don't buy this one bit, since New Netherlands was conceived in 1621. There was never really any war between the English and Dutch, and they just sort of merged. But the weird thing is, they don't really talk about New Netherlands. They also don't mention that the Germanic languages include English, German.
Now, New Netherlands or New Amsterdam is the area that we call Connecticut, New York today. This is what he's talking about, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or is he talking about Charleston?
Icelandic, Danish, Swedish, Icelandic, Norwegian, and Frankish or French language. We're talking about the same families here. And also, the German tongue is said to be the tongue of black magic and sorcery. So where do you even start? I mean, you think that was a lot? We haven't even started yet. I guess let's start with star forts, because they don't seem to think it's important to mention that Charleston was built entirely on a huge star fort.
Whoa.
Yeah, and we're talking early.
Charleston was built on a huge star fort. I'm ready for this, man. Hey, man. Hey, y'all sit back for this one, man. Matter of fact, can we get the chat flooded out with some fire emojis before I even hit the play button again? Drop them fire emojis, man. Flood it out. Support the channel, man. We here for this. This is what we came here for.
They don't seem to think it's important to mention that Charleston was built entirely on a huge star fort. Yeah, and we're talking early 1700s. But wait, I thought the story was these were built for the Civil War. So wait, if you type in earliest fort in Charleston or Carolina, it's only going to say Fort Sumter. So basically, we're dealing with the same layout that we see in Europe. And we're going to be breaking down.
Now look, that's Charleston, South Carolina. That's Charleston, South Carolina. That's crazy, right? He going in on some shit, man. Because when you look up Charleston, South Carolina, and you look up, let's say photos from 1865, you know what you get? You know what you get? I'm gonna show y'all photos of Charleston, South Carolina in 1865. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna pull it up right quick. Let me say the image. Let me pull it up right quick. This we getting into some shit. You see this right here on the screen? That's Charleston before 1865. Now I'm about to show it to you after 1865. I got something for y'all. Look, you see it now? That's before 1865, right? This is what it looked like afterwards. That's what it looked like afterwards. This is them going to war on our structures, hiding all the evidence of the American gods and their sciences. They literally went to war. 1865 was a war on our structures. It was a war to get rid of the evidence of the old civilization before the reset, before the Madrid. See, I ain't even hip to this. So this is Charleston, South Carolina, 1865. This is also a photo of Charleston, a painting of Charleston in the 1830s. This is a painting of Charleston in the 1830s. Photo of it in 1865. Why are these buildings beat and tore down and look ruined? Dead ruined. Let's continue, man.
Fort Sumter down as well, but that'll have its own section. To be honest with you, I don't really think that any of these local historians have a clue of what's really going on, but that will be a common theme because I remember.
This one drop right here. Shout out to Sister Betty. Sister Betty, you in the chat? We was just down in South Carolina, right? And we was in the county of Clio, right? Down the street from Clio, you have the city of Sumter, where you got Fort Sumter. And you heard that a lot of those people that was in the area down there said they family came from Sumter. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying, Sister Betty? We was right down the street from this. This is all nigga culture. Remember them structures I pointed out down there next to that dollar store that was all concrete and brick that went on for miles? This is part of the ancient fort.
Hey, P.
Yeah.
You was down there doing archaeology work.
Hell yeah. So, you know, you already know I'm boots on the ground. I gotta go to the structures. This is a concrete structure. I'm going to it.
And that them shit's obvious now. It's obvious, bro. I was just in North, right? And in North they got the historical court building, right? That shit got the same pillar. And I've been seeing that shit for years, and it always gave me a funny, eerie feeling, even inside, because inside don't look like no new building. It looked just like the city hall structures, like on the inside where they got the mirrors and all that shit, right? And yo, it's sure enough, and they got an underground tunnel that going to the next building right next door, right across the street from it. And then there's a tunnel like that goes all the way from Raymond Boulevard all the way to Penn Station in North. So there's a tunnel that go all the way from there. Prudential got all that property right now. You know what I'm saying? But
I was just in this area that they talking about, bro. Like, matter of fact, Sister Betty Willie family is from Sumter. They from this county.
Yeah, see? And no forts probably was already there, man. And niggas took them over. Look, you see now they got cannons and shit, but we got proof that it had to be cannons here before any Europeans or any of this shit even came to play. But you see the year it is. The year, you got to look at the year. Like the whole
61.
Oh yeah, the whole shit. What?
Now, you can see the structure. You can't really see it on this photo, maybe, but you can see some type of structure that they standing on and destroyed already. You got buildings burning in the background. These are all buildings back here. I don't know if you noticed this. These are all buildings. They got them on fire. They destroyed them. The Civil War, or the beginning of 1861, was the beginning of the destroying of the ancient civilization remaining structures. And what didn't get destroyed was reconverted into what we call breweries, masonry halls, town lodges, municipal buildings, you name it.
Auxiliary buildings. And like most of them forts down there, the government took them over. Just like all of these buildings, they either courthouses, city halls, or something dealing with the government. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what I'm saying, man. There's some deep ass shit right here, man. All right, let's get to the live stream. Let's finish up. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's go.
To be honest with you, I don't really think that any of these local historians have a clue of what's really going on. But that will be a common theme because I remember the tour guide saying that the entire land of Charleston was basically built on oyster shells, dead bodies, and dirt. And he was like joking, like, yeah, you guys have been walking over dead bodies this whole time, huh? So get used to it. Just really weird stuff like that. And it's all over the town. But one thing that we really need to bring up is that Charleston had the most bastions, or what we in the alternative call star forts. Now, we are of the opinion that these served different purposes than we are told in the mainstream. But again, we must take these things one step at a time. Barbados and Charleston are heavily connected, and that'll be another thing that's brought up in these stories as well. They say that these forts were designed to keep the Spanish out, but as we know, literally the King of Spain was called Charles as well, so I'm not really sure what they're talking about. It seems like they're all the same people. We have no evidence that they actually built these early forts, and what I mean by that is, why are we ruling out the possibility that these may have been found, as the word founded implies, that they actually found these lost architectures when exploring new lands? So they say that this original settlement was in Old Town Creek and then later moved onto the Ashley River for whatever reason. So the first Charlestonians were more like soldiers than farmers. That's what they say. They would guard at night and plant all day, which I suspect that many of these farms and produce in this land was already well established. Many rich elites from Barbados came and colonized the area, and the way it worked back then is that you basically had to get permission from the king to own land, and then they would approve it, and only wealthy families could afford the trip. So this was all some brotherhood, fraternity. This was an operation, and you're not going to have poor people making this long trip. So in 1671, there were only 30 houses and 200 people in Charleston, they tell us. So that would roughly be 6 people per house. But still, that's not considering the slaves, their habits, their culture. I mean, this would be a messy lifestyle. It makes you truly question whether or not this was possible in the time frame that they tell us. The Church of England was established, but there was no ministry yet. And this church, which we're going to be talking about a lot, is called St. Philip's. But they say the first one was a wooden church, and in the first decades, the proprietors encouraged all religious toleration, right? But it's not really true. It was mostly Catholics and Protestants, all of which had to get permission and be anointed. There's some crazy stuff that we're actually going to say about this church, but we gotta wait towards the end of the video. Basically, during this time, Lord Ashley Cooper was one of the Lord Proprietors, or in other words, shareholders of the early Carolinas. Again, he looks just like Charles II. They all have the same facial structure. He was responsible for restoring Charles II back to power. He is a part of the Shaftesbury Order, or the 9th Earl of Shaftesbury, who was also named Ashley Cooper with the copy and paste, and he just so happens to be a provincial Grand Master of the Freemasons in Dorset. These proprietors were a part of the secret order, and we know this because they supposedly planned out the town with the exact same design in London, and it was this checkerboard design proposed by Hooke and Wren, and it also happened right on the fire of 1666. So anyways, they decided to just move the entire town in 1679, like a decade after they got started on the city. They had already started building buildings, but then they moved the entire city to Oyster Point. And then they changed their minds again and moved back to the Ashley River in the spring of 1680. Now all of a sudden, this is a brand new site, and then only 2 years later, now there's 100 houses. So, the first English church, which was St. Philip's, is located where St. Michael's is now, but then they moved it to a new location.
Less than 2 years, they built 100 houses in the 1800s. Impossible.
That's bullshit.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible. Nigga, you ever seen how long it takes for them people to build a highway sometimes? Just to fix on a highway, it take years.
But what's the process to building a house back then?
And look at these structures that you see in the building. These are concrete. These ain't wooden shacks.
But even a frame, like you still will have to, like the way, I don't know, maybe we just looking at it from a point of view of how he's showing a picture, whatever. Like, but still, even back then, the houses had like similar architecture to what you see now, but maybe the side might have been different, and maybe the windows might have been different, but it still had the same architecture foundation, which was sturdy. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's no way, because you would have to cut trees down. So that means you would have to have a lumber yard already. You will have to cut trees down. You will have to create wooden planks, or however, whatever the method was at that point in time. But more likely, it would have been wood. And to have all that, all them ships there. Like, come on, my dude. That's how that shit looked at. That's how I looked at before, my dude.
That's how they looked at when they got off them ships, nigga.
Exactly.
Them houses was already there, nigga. They just reconverted it. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We got 277, man. Let's get y'all to thumb up them videos, support the channel. Can we get them likes up, y'all? I'll start the video again if we get them likes up, and we get some people to share and support the channel, man. We got to get these likes up, though, for shit show. Run them likes up one time. And them likes up for the one time, You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hopefully everybody enjoying their day, enjoying the live stream. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, we're gonna take a quick break, man. I'm gonna allow y'all to go get something to drink so y'all ain't missing nothing. You ain't even gotta move. You ain't gotta take it off the screen. We're gonna take a quick little break. Give y'all no time to use the bathroom, get y'all something to drink. We'll be back in 60 seconds or so. See y'all in a second.
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. Alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the odds wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all of my blood, all of my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right numb his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with Dylan, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know that I wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stirrup. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost, see, I glossed to we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
All right. We back. Y'all got y'all something to drink. Y'all use the bathroom. We back at it again, man. Let's get it. Thumb up the video. Slap that like button. Support the channel, man. If y'all can hear me loud and clear and see the screen, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat. That lets me know that everything is crispy on y'all end. So drop a fire emoji real quick, flood it out, and let's go and get it cracking, man. Let's go.
All of which makes it extremely confusing. So by 1682, we have hundreds of buildings, and a traveler described it as having large streets and buildings with great ornament and beauty. So now it's 1690, and they're telling us that the population is only 1,200, which in comparison, there were only 3,900 in New York. Let's also keep in mind that New York was called New Amsterdam during these times. So with only 1,000 people, we have a Star Fort city that was moved multiple times in a variety of different churches, such as St. Philip's. And then you also have the circular church that they said they rebuilt multiple times, but we'll cover that towards the end. It was also known as the Presbyterian Church, which again, we're going to have to be able to see the many heads of the dragon. But yes, Presbyterians are just Lutherans with small differences in doctrine. They are both Protestant Christian churches. It's the same thing Martin Luther did. Basically, all these different cult leaders started their own denomination of the same root, but created a variety of different branches. The French Protestants, or the Huguenots, who were Presbyterians. So again, and make sure you remember this name, but all these different people that were colonizing the Americas, they were allies. But back to the Huguenots in Charleston. So the Huguenots were allowed to congregate here and build their own church along with many other Congregationalists. This is actually how Meeting Street got its name. It's the meeting place where all these different Protestant cults, who really mostly were in defiance to the Catholic teachings, but again, during this time, this was just a cover as the power had moved into the Venetian Enlightenment, and this street is where they would all set up their different denominations or family crest mind control weapons. Of course, this was done in order to get ready and program the masses who would be imported back in after a city was wiped and renovated. Meeting Street really was the only street for a while because there were no street names. This gets back to that copy and paste stuff, so they just start slapping their names on this, and of course, Bay Street, which was just called the Bay. So during this time, it was a complete fortified city. And this is what the experts say. They know about this. In other words, it was on top of a star fort, and it consisted of 6 bastions. These are not really as well known as Fort Sumter and the other 4 Civil War forts, but these were called Craven's Bastion at the end of what is Market Street, Blake's Bastion, where the Exchange Building stands, Grandsville Bastion, the site of the current-day Masonic Temple. Water Street was a creek and a fortified wall that ran along the northern bank and around the entire town. There was also Carteret's Bastion, and as the experts themselves describe it, quote, Charlestown was in many ways a medieval fortified city, end quote. The French Protestants rushed into the city, and these were called the Huguenots. If we take a look at their family crest, we can see who they belong to. They were not poor at all, and in fact, one of the first Huguenots that we know of is the mother of Gabriel Manigal, who wrote home claiming that they were all experiencing great difficulties when they arrived to early Charleston, saying that they had disease, famine, poverty, hard labor, yet the Manigault family ended up being one of the richest families in Charleston. So of course, again, they tell us the rags to riches story. Yeah, so these French Protestants became big names in Charleston, such as Legris, Guidard, Gaylord, Laurens, Mouzon, Poilu, and Ravenel. Then of course we have the Irish, which there are many public figures and governors in Charleston who were from Ireland, such as Richard Curl and James Moore. Many Irish family names exist till this day in Charleston. Since Charleston's conception, it really was just an outpost of the Barbados, a colony of a colony, which is really similar to the Dutch India Companies and New Netherlands. Yet, they tell us that Carolina's very existence was constructed to take in the Barbadians, mostly because the island was full at this point, and they tell us that they needed more land. So, in 1674, there were 50,000 whites in Barbados, 80,000 blacks, which consisted mostly of French Protestants, Irishmen, and a few Dutch and Jews. Wait, so Barbados was settled in 1627, and they waited almost 50 years, and they didn't get started in the Carolinas until 50 years later? Why not earlier? They were running out of land, but maybe this is because this is all a setup. I mean, Barbados had multiple factories already by this time in 1670. So then wait, who are these people? Because if these are the real first Carolinians, look at their coat of arms. In the modern day, you will see the symbol and coat of arms of Barbados to be the hidden knight, and we have a black hand holding an X, or cross, of sugarcane sticks. This symbol will be referenced later, so take note. Does this look familiar? Then we see another tree symbol, but furthermore, it is held by the fish and the pelican, which this is the proof you're seeking. This is a Rosicrucian coat of arms. You can even see the rose. The clue is one of the most prolific symbols in Rosicrucianism, the jewel of the rose cross. A pelican self-inflicting harm in order to feed her children with her own blood. Then behind the pelican, we see a white cross with a bright red rose, being supported and designed by the Freemason compass and funded and controlled by the royal monarch, symbolized by the crown piece on top. Together, this creates the one-eye pyramid symbol as well. But we're not through with Barbados just yet. For the older coat of arms shows even more hidden truths. Remember what I was saying about Phoenix and resets? Look at this coat of arms of Bridgetown, Barbados, which was the capital and founding. In Latin, this reads, "From fire to light. From the past, let us rise again." They're telling you that they rose from the ashes to create a new order, and again, you can still sort of see the V and floral symbolism here. This was founded by the English East India Company, which we will see be the start of English slavery as they tell us. These corporations that were being created by these different branches of the royal monarch were constructed so that different bloodlines could start in ventures through investments and shares. They would pool their money into different business ideas and profit off of them, and one of those ideas involved enslaving the natives against their own will to produce sugar factories to create a cash crop. Or so they tell us. I also don't really think that these West India companies that they had for like every different country, including the East companies. And so I'm not really sure why we're to believe that they're separate, to be honest. So we'll just condense them into one single entity and question it from that perspective. The settlement of Barbados was established as a proprietary colony and funded by Sir William Corden, who just so happened to have grown up in the Netherlands, and he married the deaf and dumb daughter of Peter Cromling, a Dutch merchant who had brought him a dowry of £60,000. In 1600, William returned to London and Peter remained as his, quote, agent in Holland. So, yes, the Dutch East India Company and West were secretly funding other ventures and bloodlines. If you look up William Corton on Wiki, it says he discovered an uninhabited island. Yet, if you look at the history of Barbados, we get a little history before colonization section that they for some reason leave out of his bio. They say that there are settlements that go back 2,000 years. Yet, it took until these drunk, filthy, tyrannical parasites came in and decided that they would just take over and build a city? Or is something else happening? Were they already cities on these?
Nigga, it was already cities in Barbados. It was already buildings and structures as far as you can see in Americas. This science was not depleted or hidden from anybody in the vicinity. It was known. This was the place of milk and honey. This was the places where you had floating buildings, what they call. They didn't understand it was buildings on castles and they had fog and smoke around it. And you know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So listen, man, they don't even understand that this science goes back as deep, man. We are American guys, and we got a lot more to be breaking down and explain to you guys. A1, you still on here with us, or you out there traveling? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. This is a dope live stream. I'm actually enjoying this live stream. He actually going in. The way he talk, he like, yo, and the malevolence. And shout out to my Mind Unveiled, man. Commented on my video the other day, too, man. Shout out to Mind Unveiled. Shout out to you, guys.
AP, you just got to kind of decode the shit that he don't understand with what we already know. You know what I'm saying? Because he reading it from a confused position when we already know what it was. You know, he can say 2000. Well, he said 2000.
Evidence of settlements going back 2,000 years ago in Barbados.
Exactly.
That's the gods, nigga. The sign's been there. He said he know damn well no drunk savage beast then came to Barbados and wanted to build a city. Nigga, they converted and tried to take over the city that was already built there.
Enough said, or it was white. It was slaves out there too.
Got the book says the majority of white slaves went to Barbados.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. And a lot of them settlements, a lot of them islands down there where they claiming that these Europeans took over. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them shit was like a what's the name? Like they had a revolt. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing the Civil War was. It was a 4-year revolt. You know what I'm saying? Because them motherfuckers couldn't own nothing here. You couldn't own no land. And that's the reason why the war and all this other shit broke out.
Listen, yeah, the white slaves that was in Barbados, the ones that was all throughout the South, you feel what I'm saying? These governments came in, the Vanderbilts, the Rothschild, they try to take over and formulate the Union. They try to stop white slavery. See, y'all don't even understand it. That's the forgotten cause of the Civil War. And guess what? All this shit is taking place around what time? 1861.
Right.
So listen, man, it's a lot to break down, but we here for this. That's what we here for. Shout out to A1, man. Shout out to A1, man. Make sure y'all drop some fire emojis in the chat. Nigga, we got A1 on the panel, man. Just stop playing. Y'all fooling, man. Y'all know what's up with this. Shout out to the American Aborigines, man. Peace, love, and light, man.
These lands. There are multiple references to dark-colored natives that long inhabitants that go back 2,000 years. History before colonization section that they for some reason leave out of his bio. They say that there are settlements that go back 2,000 years. Yet it took until these drunk, filthy, tyrannical parasites came in and decided that they would just take over and build a city? Or is something else happening? Were they already cities on these lands? There are multiple references to dark-colored natives that long inhabited these islands. Interestingly, it was named Barbados, meaning bearded ones.
Oh, stop.
This is because of the trees.
Stop. He gets confirmed it. Like he said, it's references to dark-colored natives living in them islands. Now, like I tell people,
break down what else he said. By the way, I want you to piggyback off of that. He said that that lived in Barbados, and the etymology of Barbados is bearded ones. Bearded ones. Go ahead, talk about that. Keep going.
Yeah, but then you got Barbary too. Like that's in North Africa, all that shit was called Barbary. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. Even where you think Egypt was at, Egypt wasn't even there. Egypt was a little.
When you think of Barbary, you can go to Barbarian, and Barbarians had beards.
So when he giving reference to dark color Indians, like you gotta think about it, right? A lot of people think that the people in the Caribbean are Africans. A lot of even though that they think that we're Aborigines, they think them people that's in them islands are from Africa, my dude. And that's the furthest from the fucking truth, yo. That's impossible. Like, and that's why that whole slave story gets, you know what I'm saying, get flipped over. You know what I'm saying? Because get these people back their history, then use your cross examination of the information. Now, isn't that like it says dark natives in Barbados? Most people, they bought slaves in Barbados. Oh, that's the only reason why you see some of them there. Nah, he's telling pretty much the story that these people
had. How the fuck you got slaves in Barbados 2,000 years ago? Like, I slap a Pan African in the back.
No, I'm just saying, according to, like, you know, that's, you have to add the 2,000 years though, but just even modern day, because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, most of the so-called African slaves went to Jamaica and all these other islands out there. No, them people indigenous out there too. Like they wasn't no slaves neither. And they get confused. But most of them people who live out there would tell you their family had farms that had land and shit like that. And they only hear about that slavery shit because it's being propagated. And then people who go back there who came to North America or some of these other places or prestigious education, they teach about that slave shit. And then they go regurgitate that shit. And most of them people you talk to, they're like, man, I ain't never heard nothing about no slavery or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But
oh, that's facts. But that's why people get confused. Be like, yo, we don't need reparations because we didn't get slavery. No, it's not just about slavery. It's a lot of other atrocities that your peoples was detrimented off of. Taxation, Jim Crow. It's a lot of things that affected your people.
But the most important one would be the reclassification,
which is fraud.
And you got evidence of it. Walter Plecker, you got evidence of a government, someone who was entwined or worked for the government or some type of employee.
Act of the government using judicial shield to push illegal shit. which is fraud. That's fraud. They change documents of who you are without you willingly doing it. Fraud. And the statute of limitation for fraud is there is no statute of limitation. Just like murder, you can be 1,000 years old. They're gonna if
No,
they
fraud is a crime. Fraud is one of the three crimes. Either it's a crime by a victim, it's a damage to property, or it's a straight swindle, like swindling somebody for assets, which assets is dealing with commerce, which is also associated
right.
with monetary value. You know what I'm saying? So
certain crimes don't have a statute of limitation, like it can run out if you got a warrant, but fraud don't. You can't just they don't run away, they don't go away. Just like murder, if you murder someone, they don't go away.
And they ain't just see and understand this too. When I said Plecker, that's only in Virginia, right? But
well, no, other states actually adopted the Walter Plecker Racial Integrity Act as well. A lot of other states adopted it. And let's be clear though, Walter Plecker, they make it seem like he was just some random guy. No, he worked for the government as well. He was a register for the state, for the federal government. He was a register.
Look, his influence was several cops, right? Which that's the one that Marcus Garvey had a meeting with, and they, it's a lot of shit with Garvey. You know what I'm saying? He definitely was a Mason. He definitely was working with them people and trying to get us to go to a place we never, uninhabited land in West Africa. Nigga always talk about how beautiful West Africa, all this other shit, nigga. Look, man, that shit ain't got nothing or anything over it. That's why them people was leaving there on the first shit boat or however they can make a interest to get the fuck up out of there because that shit was uninhabited. So, I just want to put that out there. Peace to God.
Nah, man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hey, man, if y'all have not supported the channel, make sure y'all support the channel. We going in today, man. I'm going in today, man. We got plenty more. I'm gonna do a part 2, maybe a part 3 to this. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen, ticking across. Hey, once again, if you have not purchased American Guys pay-per-view, go purchase that, man. Check out some of the most exclusive information you've never seen, leading up to a lot of the shit that you already researching, connecting the dots for you, summing it up for you, man. Go check out the American Guys pay-per-view, man. Go purchase that. Information is in the description box. All right. Information to the pay-per-view is in the description box. Make sure y'all go support that, man. Let's continue the live stream.
Long inhabited these islands. Interestingly, it was named Barbados, meaning bearded ones, and they say this is because of the trees, but I wonder if this is a reference to the peoples. The reason it was said to be uninhabited is because this was claimed by Spanish riders so that they could be used as slaves. So there's one historical cover-up that the mainstream is well aware of. So the whole goal of Barbados was to convert it into an entire factory and a retreat for the elites, that by the 1640s, sugarcane was introduced from Brazil, which was colonized by the Dutch at the time. To understand this further, we must dive into what is known as...
That's a badass windmill. The little building next to it out there, somewhere in the tropical area, because I see palm trees in Barbados. Look, they had windmills, nigga. They was using that salt water, using that water turbine and making electricity out there, motherfucker.
As the Venetian black nobility. Now, one of the 40s, sugarcane was introduced from Brazil, which was colonized by the Dutch at the time. To understand this further, we must dive into what is known as the Venetian black nobility. Now, what I'm about to say may come as a surprise, but this is not just a symbolic name, it is also literal. I'll explain shortly. The whole basis of Venice is that it went against the church and essentially had its own reformation of sorts, becoming the first to go through this enlightenment, or as we know, self-enlightenment phase. You see, they say Venice went into decline in the 15th century. But no, these bloodlines just passed their wealth into different families so that they could control in the shadows. But this was just one portion of the symbolism. You see, the most powerful families of the black nobility are located in Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Britain, Holland, and Greece, and this seems to be the hierarchy enlisted. Now, this is some deep stuff and will require some critical thinking. But remember, we're talking about Charles II and how all these elites were interbreeding with each other. Well, he was black. And actually, something you don't really learn about in history is that the Moors actually were in control of Spain for over 300 years. But not only that, they gained control of Sicily and Italy over 1,500 years ago, they tell us. This is actually still visible.
Damn, the Moors took over what?
Man, he ain't lying, man. It was hard. The people he said Moors always been in that area. They always was in these, like we said, on the other side, what we call Africa, but Africa connected to Europe. It's the same shit. All according to them, Asia, right? But the same people that we assume are going over there, who did they go over there and take over? Because wasn't no white people running shit. And even if white people was running shit, you mean tell me y'all was taken over by some black people for 700 years? Like, think about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, y'all wasn't there, period. Them people was always there. The ones that they keep saying the Moors went over there. No, motherfucker, they always lived there. The European just telling the story to put himself or trying to fit himself and create a false history for them to be like, oh yeah, we was really in Europe, and then some Moors came over and took over for 700 years. What the fuck would that mean? Somebody take over some a place for 700 fucking years. That means the whole culture would be changed. You know what I'm saying?
No, you right.
The whole culture would be changed, and they wouldn't even have no influence on the culture. Like, if you want to believe that, but I believe that they was always there because the evidence is always proven that Europe was inhabited by Negroes for we don't know how long. We don't even know how long. But it's way these Europeans don't want to even come out with none of that because it's going to show and prove that people will start asking where are they from? Where the fuck did they come from? That's the question I'll be trying to figure out. Like, you know, I mean, we got theories or whatever. Into one of these theories, you have solid information or whatever. But other than that, like, where did they come from? You know what I'm saying?
And they tell you this is what they call the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was everywhere. It's when niggas ran every piece of land, government, city in the world. That's called the Dark Ages. One of the last times it was a global nigga civilization running everything. That's real shit, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Support the
buildings. Look at the buildings in them pictures, yo. They got the round domes with the little thing at the top.
Facts.
All of them, like, and then the same ones we see over here, the same one right behind Montezuma, all of that shit is the same. Venice, I think, Venice, he said Italy, right? And right. Sicily, right? Italy and Sicily. Rome is
that's Rome. That's Rome. That's ancient Rome, nigga. That's ancient Rome. My bad, I didn't mean to call you a nigga.
But nah, exactly. So look, the same picture. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so either we had to created that shit because now we know that we created the number systems and all of this other shit. So, like, what would be so far-fetched to say that, okay, everybody was making the same buildings in different parts of the world? Nah. Right. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. It just doesn't. The same exact. That takes a technique to be able to build some shit like that. That ain't no shit that just anybody just going to learn how to build. That's a technique. That's for somebody to do that.
That means somebody is at a pinnacle. They have an acute science that's been around, it's been established, it's been active use. You know what I'm saying? Unlike what we see modern architect skills today. I'm not saying that they not good, but these people was already at a peak of technologically building their structures. You see what I'm saying?
That's a floating island, I think. I mean, or a floating city or town or whatever. When they show you Venice, is that Venice where they got the it's like a water pressure system that holds the town up, and then sometimes like the water pressure, if it go down too low, I can't think of the exact thing what they call it though, but I believe Venice it is a floating town. But go ahead, keep building.
Nah, that's a fire one, man. Let's get it, man. Shout out to A1. Y'all support the channel, man.
We're talking about Charles II and how all these elites were interbreeding with each other. Well, he was black. And actually, something you don't really learn about in history is that the
Damn, my boy was black. Yeah, look at him looking like Prince. That nigga got his hair blew out, goddamn, with the 111 Truth Searcher mustache. That nigga look like 111 Truth Searcher. Come on, man. It's Aborigine, man.
Moors actually were in control of Spain for over 3. Well, he was black. And actually, something you don't really learn about in history is that the Moors actually were in control of Spain for over 300 years. But not only that, they gained control of Sicily and Italy over 1,500 years ago, they tell us. This is actually still visible within the phenotypes of the inhabitants as they appear mixed. This becomes crucial to note because there's this idea that the white man is the enemy, that they are the parasite who came in and caused all this havoc. And I'm not saying they aren't a part of this, but I can tell you right now, the parasite has nothing to do with race or phenotypes. It is but a spiritual parasite that has infected all of humanity. What I mean by this is the original Aryan or noble races consisted of multiple cultures. Aryan does not mean white, it simply means noble ones, and these people were the ones who spread knowledge after the destruction of Atlantis.
Who is the noble ones? Who is the noble ones? Go and look at this Aboriginal history, because the ones who set up these municipal buildings, these tax systems, was the noble people. Go look at Chief Tammany. They call him a nobleman. Go look at Emperor Brim. They call him a nobleman. Come on, man. We the nobles, man. We the nobles, man. The honorable men. Facts.
Now, according to Donnelly, the Fomorians were the first pirates. And if you haven't seen our work on the Irish and secret black history,
the nigga said the Fomorians. The Fomorians. They came from Lemuria, which is Mu, which is in the Pacific, which is AKA part of America or California today. Come on, man. He dropping some heat. We here to give you the extras on top of it. He just giving you the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We seasoning it up a little bit. This is real facts, man. Where do you think this science came from?
videos, this is all to connect. So as chaos and self-enlightenment started to kick in, the hijack consisted of multiple cultures turning to survival. After all, there were many cataclysms during this time. The Canaanites formed, and several other cults, such as the Arabic Sephardic Jews, who were really established under the Moorish rule of Spain. And if you're new to all this, we also have to consider timeline fraud. For now, I'm going to leave that out because it will overcomplicate things, but keep that in mind as we're discussing these matters. What I'm telling you is that we have been sold a story of slavery, yet there's evidence that suggests that blacks were in fact the nobles of Europe, and in Africa, the leaders would actually be the ones selling slaves to the Dutch East India Company. Blacks sold blacks. Those were the first true slave owners.
Damn, why you going hard body like that? Why you going hard?
Nah, he ain't. See, he ain't wanna add that blacks were selling white people. See, he ain't
right. That's what I'm saying. Why you going hard body like that?
He said everything but that. You know what I'm saying? And they, like I said, they don't have no problem with even. See, they would still keep you in the narrative and shit, right? Even though he sit up there telling you like, oh, black, they was in position. So where do that put your people? All right, let's not even get to the black slaves. Where do that put your people at? If think of it like this, right? If they went over there and took over Europe and Spain, right? They took over Spain. He said all the way to Italy and Sicily and all that shit. All that is in the same area where Greece is at, Rome, etc. Right? So they came in and took that shit over for 700 years. So what happened to the people that land that they took over? What did they do with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did they do with them? They saying that their influence came there and changed the whole structure, whatever. Just hypothetically speaking, I don't even believe that. I believe that they always just did it, and this is just a story that they're telling to implement themselves into the story. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, definitely, man. Boy, let it rock out though. Let them get finished talking.
Let's get it.
That blacks were in fact the nobles of Europe, and in Africa, the leaders would actually be the ones selling slaves to the Dutch East India Company. Blacks sold blacks. Those were the first true slave owners in America. We're going to talk about African history.
I don't know if y'all noticed that this looked like a white man right here. That's why I paused that. This looked like a white man that was getting enslaved by the black man right here. It's the black man who like my motherfucking granddaddy or something. And then you got this nigga, a white man, bowing down. But he ain't talking about that.
Those were the first true slave owners in America. We're going to talk about African history. And also, this isn't hate in any type of way. I'm not saying that one race or blacks or white, not one color is solely responsible for putting humanity under a spell. I would never make that claim. It was a product of multiple bloodline families from multiple cultures. But do not underestimate the Moorish power and history of Europe. It's simple. It was just covered up and hidden. But now, with our current knowledge, we can begin to understand that perhaps there is an agenda behind all of this. In fact, all of Barbados is Catholic Jesuit in origin. You can see the remnants of these Catholic cults or Knights of Malta. But what if this was put into play so that the true bloodlines behind the scenes, right? They would never be able to be identified.
Damn, he talking about the ancient Moors, the ancient Flamurians, the black nobility. They saying they behind. He pretty much giving the perspective that these are the niggas who's running the world. They
Exactly.
identify them. They running the Rothschilds, the Rothbergs, the DuPont, all of them. Niggas.
And put them niggas in front, put them people as pawns in the game and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like the chessboard, but who behind it is these people, man.
Damn, that's a hell of a bad scheme that they did on us, man. If that's true, man, let's continue. This is some dope ass shit, man. Shout out to everybody in the building.
The Malta. But what if this was put into play so that the true bloodlines behind the scenes, right? They would never be able to be identified. Now, I'm not saying anything just yet. I'm just going to be showing you the research. Look, here's an article that claims black history and black nobility was tucked away, and this was presented by a black Dutch researcher named Egmond Codfried. And I'm not saying I agree, but I just find this fascinating and I believe it deserves to be explored. Quote, black nobility in Europe? Yes, according to black Dutch researcher Egmond and author of book Belle van Zoylen's Forgotten Grandmother, there was black nobility in Europe, but their history and images were later carefully tucked away and erased from history. His claims are controversial and, of course, not accepted by European historians. End quote. It's honestly tiring to hear all these supremacists still promoting racial divide. And I'm not doing that at all. We all know that white elites have ruled as the face. I'm just trying to show you that there's another head to the dragon that has been hidden. Because it seems that some of the main black supremacist talking points are that whites are parasites who came out of the Caucasus Mountains, that there are mutations that enslaved all these aboriginal.
Hey, my bad, but that we kind of got proof to that, Mondamville. I know you watched the channel, but listen, that's why I want to have this conversation. We got proof that allegedly under research that y'all was literally created, and it's like a mutation. You see what I'm saying? So listen, man, when we talk,
think about like what you said though, but think about what he's saying though, and he's saying it from a naive. He got a naive outlook on it. On his whole everything he say, he's doing it naively, right? Now think of it like this, right? Okay, he said he just added that to it. What made you add the fact that people think that white people was created, and they're going through these great lengths to hide? We talk about power, like people who was in a powerful position, not as no, like it's just a black story, like they were slaves and shit over there. No, they was running shit, nigga. And it's like, why would they? Oh, why would we tell you about that? Just like, why would we not? Why wouldn't we tell you that y'all were slaves and create this whole history when they were slaves? It's the same narrative, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? They erase the history just like they erased the history of us here. You know what I'm saying? Why they did the same shit over in Europe too.
yeah, that shit wild, man. He not able to look at it from his true perspectives. You know what I'm saying? He not understanding that all this science comes from one people, which is from Atlantis, or what we can call Mu. They don't understand that.
Look, it's like, look, he created that video, right? So people could help give him answers to the questions that he's seeking, right? And this is our job. Like, okay, yeah, y'all they was created. Like, I mean, that's what all the evidence point up towards.
Right, and we got the proof. We should do a build on that.
Just like all the evidence proved that you get said all them Star Force, all them buildings, and you making a naive outlook on it. Yeah, nigga, it was niggas here that y'all call black Indians, and we built all that shit, nigga. Right. Showing that what niggas wasn't living in no motherfucking teepees. Niggas had long.
Welcome to the Republic of Atlantis. You understand?
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to the American Aborigines out there, man. Y'all the smartest motherfuckers in the chat too, because y'all be right here with it. Y'all be breaking down shit in the chat. Be saying like, damn, these niggas be going in. Like y'all some real ones, man. Y'all some of the real ones, man. Shout out to Mondamville. He commented on one of my videos. I hit him up, man. We're gonna chop it up here soon, man. You might see him on the platform real soon. Shout out to Mondamville. Appreciate the videos. A lot of work going into these, and we here to break down and give you the extra seasoning for the blend. You feel me? We don't want no bland chicken. We're gonna add some seasoning to this motherfucker. You understand me and my mama? Let's continue.
Knowles on the native lands. Yet they also want to claim that they were in control of all of Europe. So which is it? If you were in control of Europe, then that means you were connected to the royal bloodlines. And perhaps there's something to be asked on the black phenotypes presented within these royal families. I am of the opinion that all of humanity has committed evil, right? Because this ties back into black Freemasonry and the Oddfellows. We can't just blame a single race for being responsible for all the evil of humanity. It keeps us in a state of identity crisis and victimhood. Plus, to say that only white people are capable of such meticulous planning and power is absurd. Extreme evil requires genius, which all peoples possess. We must break free of these chains and start asking questions on how we arrived to our current location. Okay, so now we're going to break down all the main things you hear about Charleston when you Google it or go on a tour or visit him.
This video right here, because we already at 3 hours and 30 minutes, man. We're going to come back to this video tomorrow. Y'all got to tune in. That means you got to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you get all your latest updates and notifications for the live streams, man. Y'all want to be here for tomorrow. It gets heavy. It gets heavy. And we here to break it down to add that seasoning to it. Shout out to my brother A1 for coming through, man. Shout out to Unconscious One. Shout out to Unconscious One for coming through, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Hit that like button. Share the live stream, man. Cash App and PayPal information is ticking across at the bottom of the screen, man. A1, you got something to say before we get out of here, brother? You got something to say before we want to get out of here, A1?
I'll come back through tomorrow.
Yeah, man, we come through and break this shit down tomorrow, man. We ain't doing shit but to do it. And some of the chat, come back and help us out too. Y'all breaking that shit down out there too, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, because this guy sound like he needs help. He needs help because he don't understand. So he got us. Here we go.
Look at these in the back of this photo real quick before we get out of here. Just look at these.
That's in St. Augustine. That's that picture that's down there in St. Augustine, Florida.
And look who you see right here, niggas.
No, but look, follow the person with the umbrella. Them niggas too. Look right there. No. Well,
I see them right here.
Yeah, them niggas too. Them niggas too.
These all niggas.
The other Aborigines right here.
Got the niggas over here working. You got the ships over here. You got the other part of the day. But look at these. This is a whole town. Look, you got to go through this gateway in this fort to get to this town.
That's a star fort
right here. This is a town. On the inside of the fort. Man, this is some amazing shit. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. And they tell you white people came here. They surveyed like they some type of all right. They playing like they the gods. Like they could just go anywhere and build up a town. Nah, nigga, we know now that we was already doing this shit here. Like it was a good one though. It was a good one why they had us and shit. Why they had us believing that they just go around the world and pop up and then build all this shit. Nah, nigga, they doing it with the science of the American Aborigines. So with that, man, I'll shoot back through tomorrow, man. Peace to the gods, peace to the goddesses. Peace.
Man, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. If you have not purchased American God pay-per-view, make sure y'all go purchase that. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all beware. Make sure y'all be vigilant. Make sure y'all stay dangerous, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Y'all know it's nothing but love coming from Big Al Power, man. Y'all know I appreciate all the work, man. We still here, man. We still got a lot of work to do. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Share the live stream at least once. Hit the like button on the way out, man. We out of here, man. Peace and love to all the American Aborigines and the FBA brothers and sisters that tune in.
We're still here. I still have my practices. We know who we are. This is who we are. So you can call me colored, you can call me Negro, you can call me black.
Oh, man. Yeah, you gotta be kidding me.
What kind of Indian are you?
Like Tonto Indian?
Shinnecock Indian.
Really? You're a Shinnecock?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Shinnecock.
You could have fooled me.
That's the kind I am.
Hey.
So you should be Big Chief Bastard, not Old Dirty.
His family was here when Columbus landed, huh?
Is that right?
Yes.
So you are not a black man, you're an Indian?
I'm an Indian.
No kidding. Now this is a shock.
We are learning more today.
I don't need no gun to do my thing. Mao Zedong said that power grows out the barrel of a gun. He never said that power was a gun. That's why I don't need no gun to do my thing. What I need is some freedom. What I need is the power to determine my destiny.